and quickly things turn on its head.
Oh.
Stephanie tries to respond, able to drop Glory quite quickly, but still lots more to be done here as a fake TP comes through and the Nanoswarm goes down, and that might just lock it in right now. There is no time here for Stephanie. Has to try to lock this one in, but there's just nothing to be done. Flowerful finishes it off. It was a good effort, but Flowerful, the one with that timing coming through ropes to punish the res, that was the turning point for sure.
That was a fantastic round from Shopify Rebellion. That was so beautiful. The double Rampler, which honestly went about as bad as it could have gone, right? Losing that trade battle on the ramp with KP and Han, I believe it was. And then Flowerful hitting that timing, going through ropes like that, was just so perfect. And when you look now, they have a res and a lockdown. And they're going into this B lockdown for sure this round. And a showstopper to add to it. This could really turn things around. This is a very, very important round.
9 for Dig, 8 for Shopify.
I like
Slow
that.
B main control.
I'm not sure if you caught that, but they smoked the A main cross. They broke the Sage wall there. KP, distracted. Cypher gets away just in time. The B site's lost, though. This is going to be a 5-on-5 retake. And they have no ults to work with.
Yeah, it will be a tough one. In fact, though, Shirleyana is one frag off of the Rolling Thunder, so we'll have to see if Shirleyana is able to charge that one up. That could be very decisive. Spike is trying to be planted. Great cover coming through from Han. And that's the lost. At least able to take down one, and there is some ground gained here, but it is limited. It looks like the fights are just not going the way of Dig here. Rain, last player standing, is doing some good work, but too much work overall to be done. 9-9, and we asked the question as to whether Shopify Rebellion would be able to find the initiative, if they'd be able to take things back under control, and they really have seemed to. They've tied it up here now.
This is getting scary for Dig. I'd imagine they have a couple ults on deck. They had none that last round, but their economy has to just be dwindled down. They can't have much money, and we're going to find out really quickly when we get the overview of the economy. If they don't have economy in this round, it's such a big round for Shopify to build up theirs. Yeah, and they don't. They have to save. Wow. Actually, interesting call. I would call a buy here with that kind of money, Dan. I don't know about you. It's kind of weird in VALORANT because you also have to buy all of those abilities, and they don't have many. So it'd be a lot of like Phantom, half shields, maybe a Spectre on someone. Yeah, they're gonna buy. I like it.
I can't wait to see how this goes because, of course, there is the Rolling Thunder, but the only thing that I'm worried about for Dig's sake is I'm sure that they can get a site, but with their money so low, I wonder if they'll have the util to actually hold a post plant. That's the major question. But we're gonna see if we're even gonna get to that point. We do have the res available still for Shopify Rebellion on Han, so you can see early on here with the look on the barriers that we will be having mid pressure coming through, not just from one team, but from both.
Dan, I guarantee you it's going to be a mid retake with this Rolling Thunder right now. The second they get male contact from close on Stephanie, the Rolling Thunder is going to come out. It's coming soon.
Oh, the wall is there, though. That's not going to be broken. That could be a safe way to play. Stephanie goes straight out there. There's the Rolling Thunder, and that's certainly going to hit Stephanie. But somehow Stephanie actually dodges that, gets away with it, I think, with a satchel over the top of it, and they are going to completely halt the mid take coming through, and the Rolling Thunder will be burned for nothing.
They're going to try to res this body in mid, but look, Dig is keeping 3 players there. They're aware. And yeah, I think both teams are aware of the possibility of this res. And Shopify just, they know it's not possible. Wow.
Yeah, you'd almost have to take a massive gamble here if you're Shopify in just predicting how your opponents are going to rotate around the map here. But it gets so difficult the more you wait as to know what they're doing. Oh, Rain with the info ult. And now just going to be forced to use the paranoia, just trying to hold on to the back of the site. The peak comes through, and it's the showstopper from Stephanie finally from that B heaven position. That's good for one, but it looks like Shopify have actually managed to find a plant here, and there is a real opportunity to make this
KP
round
needs the heal.
work.
KP needs this heal, and he can get them both to 100. Oh my, that is so clutch.
Oof.
That's so clutch. The sky heal coming in huge right there.
Thea might hit a really good timing on the lurk, though. They've got to be so careful because the drop comes from heaven. Now, oh no, Thea, they're going to line up for Thea. And it's just now down to Panini against two players. Finds the first one, able to capitalize on the distraction, and gets the second. The clutch coming through from Panini. Fantastic stuff there for Shopify. And they're going to stay in the lead by 1 round. Again, this is so competitive.
Jesus. Pressed up against the corner. Panini comes out hot. Sorry, I had to do it, Dan. Yeah, that was... Panini's just literally coming up big time and time again. Honestly, the late round heroics coming out of Panini this game is definitely what's keeping Shopify Rebellion in this game. I mean, this is such a good Omen performance. Honestly, from both Omens. I think the fake ult coming out of Rain, you know, coming back into the body, throwing the paranoia, swinging with it. Very unlucky that no one was on the screen on that peak. Wow.
Oh, just such great calm and composure from Panini there for those last 2 kills. They really, you know, seem to be in such a great mental state, just not impacted at all by just how incredibly important that clutch was. You know, we can see the damage to the economy for Dig. It wasn't just a round win. It may be a round win and a very favorable following rounds here, as we can see that the money is so bad for Dig.
Look at the ults now on Dig 2. It's not even just an economy thing. They wasted everything to win that round. And honestly, it looked like they should have won it. Shopify has these late round heroics and these small quirky plays. You know, regrouping with the sky heal was massive, in my opinion. It was... I can't even say how big that was, that this guy ran around from a lurk spot to do that.
Definitely, and oh, I don't know if flower port was cleared there, but they did at least get rid of the trip. Laurie, you know, will make her way through once again with the satchels. And Panini, oh, Panini is feeling it right now, finding a fantastic timing, feels that flank coming through sewers, deals with it effectively, and it's going to be a difficult series of fights here now for Dig as they try to edge their way down the ramp, but it's the bait. Unable to convert on that one, and just the ISOP just making it impossible. Panini with a really good timings as well if it was needed, but Han will take it down, and they are going to shut out that round. Dig, of course, did not really have anything to work with, but still, a confident look for Shopify Rebellion, who are now 2 rounds away from winning this series in the upper bracket quarterfinals here in VCT Game Changers.
And look at the performance Stephanie's having, too. I mean, we mentioned that she was the player to look out for before the series ever started. I mean, you have your star player with 26 frags, 20 rounds into the game. Let's be honest here. They're still on defense side of split, okay? They're not in a terrible spot. This is anyone's game. I think this is literally going to go down to the wire, Dan. This is insane.
Yeah, it's really looking like it. Dig, can they find some performance in this round to turn it on its head? They do have that top A ramp control at the moment, and that has been, you know, it's been quite a popular opening for Shopify to try to take away that position. And this slow pace, though, is actually quite difficult, I think, for Dig, who at this point must be wondering what is going on. I like the resmoke coming through onto B main. Shopify really trying to sell something there, burning the paranoia.
And look at that Panini ult into an open A site. The site's open. Rain needs to find one here.
Rain still with her paranoia, ready to go, and Rain, she may not get a frag, but holding on to this position is huge. Looking for a timing. Laurie has to hold things down there. Able to turn away from the flash. The pain shots for the cover, but straight into Rain. The look from Rain has been fantastic. The timing, the patience, the discipline. All the shots coming together. But it is now down to Flowerful to try to save this one. And oh, the fault line is perfect. I don't know that there's any chance.
But there's no time.
Oh, there's no time for this one. What a incredible performance there from Rain. You know, you're calling for the frag, Sean, but Rain went for the big brain play, the timing.
Yeah, something about letting a small fish go to catch a big fish later. She caught a real big fish.
Oh no, just like, oh my. That's like that scene from Pulp Fiction where like all the bullets are flying and it's like, I think I was saved by something greater. There's something greater at play here that we don't understand that has saved me.
The crazy thing is without the fault line, I bet Flowerful throws a molly on the spike, but she was so pressed on time, she had to just go with, the gun. Wow. Very well played by Dig, particularly Rain, to win that round.
That has made this its most exciting version, I think, this game. Now, this finish is looking down to the wire between these two teams. Here comes the quick push into that B site once again. And not the best firepower in the world here for Dig. Hurting for economy, hurting for guns. Couple Spectres in play here on this retake. It'll be very difficult. Shopify are looking quite strong here at the moment. They've got full B main control, full site control. Good info here coming through from KP as well to understand that there's nobody on the immediate flank right now. And oh man, KP's going to take that opportunity to actually go for a long flank through mid. So the time is really on the retake here in more than one sense, and it's going to come down to hitting the shots, and Shopify Rebellion are just owning it right now. 12-10. One more round to clinch this. Does Dig have anything left in the tank?
Oh man, I can't imagine they do. I can't imagine they do. We know, I mean, from the CS economy, 2 players living, which is what happened on that round where Rain came up big. They have to drop weapons to the other 3 that died in that round. So that ends up in a scenario where no one has money if you lose the following round. And look at what's happened to their economy. Oh, they have the res. They have the res here. Oh, those paint shells. Oh, they barely got away.
Oh, I love that play from Lori. It doesn't find its mark, but they're finding a timing, which I think that you can't really easily react to. If they weren't already pulling back immediately, I think Lori gets a double there and converts. That would have been crazy.
Yeah, Lori's aggression throughout this entire series has been so pivotal. And again, like, she's just pushing the issue every time.
And this is it. This is the moment. Oh, Lori's going to go down to the Spectre there. That's a big win. A 5v4 retake now. It's still difficult coming through for Dig, given that they don't really have great weaponry. That is a battle that can be collected.
Look at this.
Oh, the flank, Panini. Panini. How many times have we said Panini's name in this map? It's been pretty nuts. 2 players left now to try to keep the chances alive in this series for Dig. Rain and Emily. It's so hard trying to get Emily trying to get over that wall there with her own, but Rain now just jumping through the dark cover. It's not going to work out, and my goodness, I didn't expect this to happen. I didn't expect our predictions to be correct, Sean, after that first map especially, but Shopify Rebellion will take down Dignitas in this clash. It went all the way to the final 3 maps, all the way to split, and it was damn close.
It was so close, and that's with Stephanie having a gangbusters performance. I think you said it at the end right there. The amount of times that you said Panini, and I said Panini. I'm starving, first of all, after thinking about Paninis for that long. She came up so big. Every pivotal round, she got a 3K or a 4K or ulted away. It was so insane.
Yeah, I don't know who to blame, Sean or Panini, for being hungry right now, but that's definitely happening for sure. Panini, she was just coming in hot for the squad. We were kind of concerned for Shopify there for a moment, seeing how Dignitas came out really hot out the gate with the maps, and then it was Shopify Rebellion in the end, though, to shut it down on split, guys, and they are advancing. They just sent Dignitas to the lower bracket. How's that feel? That's their #1 seed now in the lower bracket today.
That's such a big result because, especially, again, as you said, they started off the series so rocky, and it really felt like they had the edge. They just had the edge, especially in the mental game, coming out again at the start so confident. So I feel like there's so much credit for me personally that I've got to throw the way of Shopify, just keeping it together and just keeping it together, believing and closing. That's amazing to see.
Yeah, and to go along that same narrative, Lori 0-18 on Haven. Wow. Yeah, that's right. 0-18 on the opening map. She comes back and top frags the second map. and then has another insane performance on Split. That is so impressive to mentally come back from. I would be so mentally boomed if I went 0-18. I would be mentally checked out. But she kept up the aggression and did everything her team probably asked of her as an entry duelist.
Yeah,
I couldn't agree more.
And then here is some stats here for everybody. Of course, we love to see this coming up. I'm sure we're going to see some following images as well as we usually do. And my gosh, guys, I know you guys are casting it, so I can't even imagine how you're feeling on your end because you guys kept just going through that last round for map. For me, I'm just like over here. Like, I don't know if production could see me, but I'm like, whoa, oh my gosh, that's crazy. And just excellent, just valiant work just all around by both squads. It's unfortunate to see Dignitas go down, but I'm sure they're probably going to keep moving through. But we will see on that as well. So guys, it is time to announce our first MVP for the Game Changers event. Our Nick's MVP here, professional makeup match MVP. That's going to be the Panini we all have come to already know and love. That's my face. Hi.
And half of mine. Oh my goodness, that's some kind of crazy monstrosity there. But it's, well, I mean, it's hard to. I mean, I think Sean and I were already like talking about Panini so much at the end. It just does seem like such a natural pick. But at the same time, I think there are so many different threads you could go down for this, and it would be just as justified. Like I think Sean talking about Laurie in that way as well was there's a lot of arguments for Laurie too. Again, I can't, as someone that has competed, I've experienced those mental breakdowns, and it does happen when you have a bad map. And we're talking about, a map in a tactical FPS game. I was playing a game like Quake. It's a lot easier to reset because, I mean, in Quake, because the games are so short, but in this, like, you're sitting in that bad performance, you're thinking about all of the naysayers, the people on the internet who are very mean sometimes, and what Twitter will say. And that can, like, really get into your head, especially if you don't have a lot of experience dealing with how do you deal with a bad performance. So it's such a great thing to see, and you don't see it very often. So like I almost am tempted to throw it Laurie's way personally, but it's it's a team effort at the end of the day, of course, and I think they've got to be super proud of how they're able to come back into that series, given that Dig was playing very well also. Yeah,
I echoing everything you say. What we just saw happen with Laurie going 0-18 to the performance on the last two maps, that is so rare. I can't even think of one time I've seen something like that in a series. Like, I can't think of anything like that. That is such a good turnaround, especially in a game like Valorant, where everyone has unique abilities, and especially out of a duelist, that you need to come up big, right? You need to have the Jet come up big. You need to have the Raze come up big. She did. On the last two maps, she came up big, and she aggressed on the attack half, and even on the defense side, we saw her pushing in Breeze middle and behind at A. Hats off to Laurie and Panini, particularly for that last map.
Well,
can I add one more quick thing? I'm sorry to I keep talking over you.
Do it. No,
so sorry.
You gotta delay. It's fine.
But
it happens.
I have to say, I think it is even more impressive. I just really have to accent this, because when you're on the duelist, what happens when you're playing a duelist is that you're playing the most risky roles, where you're putting yourself out there, and not only do you have to hit shots, and especially when you don't have as much confidence because things haven't been going your way, not only is that difficult, but you have to keep taking risks. And the thing that happens when you have bad games and when you go into your C game is you become risk averse. That is the exact thing that happens. So it's the worst player, the worst role for something like that to happen to. So I just really wanted to really emphasize this, because it is very impressive.
Very impressive. Yes, absolutely. And all the winning all around. And do you know who else is winning? It's the chat, because there's a NYX Cosmetics giveaway happening. I don't know if it's already active, but definitely pay attention to that. Some information should be dropping, if it hasn't already, in the chat. So guys, it's getting spicier, so don't worry. Up next, after this break, we've got C9 versus Nothing to Lose. So don't go too far. We'll see you right after this break. everyone? Welcome back to the Verizon VCT Game Changers presented by Dignitas. I am Lisa Malambry, aka Lucy May. It is then also with me two very familiar faces. Types in chat. I know you love it, and you're going to be hearing them for the next series that we've got coming up. Guys, we just saw Shopify Rebellion send Dignitas down to the lowers 2-1. But up next, it is C9 White versus Nothing to Lose. So let's take a look at the bracket, just kind of see what that looks like, and also what may be happening on the other stream as well. Get a little intel on how the games are shaking out thus far. Dun, 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 drum roll. What is it? So CLG 2-0'd Just Breathe. That's going to be, ooh, that's a spicy matchup too. Just Breathe versus Dignitas at the bottom there. They did a lot versing each other over several weeks during the Supergirl Gamer Pro. So they've got definitely some intel on each other. That's going to be spicy.
That's so sad that one of them has to go home, right? You have to favor Dig in that matchup. Dan and I won't be here for that one, but I'm gonna go ahead and say Dig. Right?
Yeah.
Right, Dan?
Now you're gonna. The flip flopping is real, guys. No. Uh-oh, where's Dan?
Oh, can you hear me?
Uh-oh.
Fine.
It's
that hotel connection. But
it's that handheld mic. It's getting the best of him.
handheld mic
I'm
OP
good.
also hotel.
Oh, I have
library
myself
OP.
muted on Discord.
Oh,
there we
dang
go.
it.
Oh no.
Fail. Hey, welcome back, DDK. We missed you
Thank
for
you.
that few seconds there. We were worried about the library
Yeah,
ate you
man.
up.
Yeah, no, I have to. There's a lot of books to take care of, so, and lots of knowledge to peruse.
I didn't know-
it's,
I like how
it's a lonely job. Someone has to do it.
I literally have frog pillows behind me, and my co-caster has a bunch of books. Like, we couldn't be any different. Look at this.
Look at my
This
pillows,
is so
man.
ridiculous.
Look at this.
This is just so.
What even
so
is
ridiculous.
that?
Gorgeous.
It's
Luscious.
officially
It's
just
like
getting weird.
like a peacock feather embroidered with gold threading. It's adds a level of love. It's next level over
Wow.
here.
You fancy, huh? All right. Well, hey, you just got to see how that bracket's shaping up. So let's take a look at our upcoming matchup. As I said, that's C9 White versus Nothing to Lose. Let's take a look at that the graphic of the teams that are going to be going head to head. C9 White still undefeated, basically, other than losing a map, but they still won that matchup. So guys, how familiar are you with Nothing to Lose here? What are you seeing here that could potentially catch C9 White off guard at any degree?
Oh, this is definitely an uphill battle for Nothing to Lose. I mean, they have something to lose this game, and that's being sent to the lower bracket. So I definitely have to favor C9 White here. I mean, you can't. How could you not favor them in this matchup? With that said, I recognize a lot of the names on Nothing to Lose. I think they have a lot of experience, and they definitely have aimers on their squad. Like, it's not out of the realm of possibilities that they win the matchup. But when you look at their maps played, I mean, they don't play Split. They're 4-8 on Ascent. They're only 3-2 on Icebox. They're 0-1 on Breeze. Yeah, their bind in Haven is really good. I'm not gonna lie. They're 9-1 on Bind, 6-1 on Haven. But you can't win series against teams like Cloud9 only being able to play 2 maps. So they're gonna have to steal up probably a different map, right? They're not gonna get those 2 in this series.
Well,
Yeah, it's a real tough one. I completely agree. I want to say there's hope, but it's one of those situations whereby you have a lot going against you. So I think it's. But that said, at the top of the show we talked about it's Cloud9 White are the best team in Game Changers. And that's something that they've proven. They've earned that with their results. But there is no head-to-head history with these two teams, and like Sean was saying, there are a lot of familiar names and faces here. For Nothing to Lose, and a lot of experience, especially from the Counter-Strike world. So there's definitely a lot to work with. It's just about that team synergy, and making the things that allowing your strengths to work for you. Because C9 White, I think, if they just do a good enough job at keeping their opponents out of their comfort zone, then that's really all it takes. But if you can avoid all of the shenanigans that might serve to do that from C9 White, Now we're talking, and you can hit some of your shots as well and meet them on the mechanical level. There's definitely opportunities to be had here. I'm trying to do my best to frame this positively. Nothing to lose.
That's pretty much it. You hit the nail on the head. The mechanical battles within the server are gonna be Nothing to Lose's chance here, right? I don't think tactically they're gonna outplay C9 White. I don't think we're gonna see some crazy strategies or synergized abilities. But if, their duelists open up the rounds, if, they get drone tags that lead to Sova ult kills and stuff like that, and they win the entry battles, if they win those entry battles, they could easily steal a map. And if they get it to Bind and Haven, they could get that second map. But it's just stealing Cloud9's map or the third map that I have doubts with.
Let's take a look at what the maps panned out to be for this next series. That is going to start off on Haven.
Okay.
Selected by C9. We see no split, which is the one map that C9 did drop to Shopify. So that could have been a way in for Nothing to Lose. Looks like they perhaps just chose to play their game and go along with that sense. So I got an ooh out of you, Sean.
Yeah, I'm surprised that C9 chose into Haven. I mean, this is probably the best case scenario when it comes to the veto for Nothing to Lose. I mean, these are the maps that they play the most. I mean, they're 9-1 on Bind, they're 6-1 on Haven, and like I said, they're 4-8 on Ascent, which is honestly kind of bad. They've lost to every team in this tournament on Ascent other than GX3. That's the only team they've taken out on Ascent. So their Ascent is really weak, and unless they come in with new looks, I can't imagine they're going to steal that map from Cloud9.
Yeah, I mean, this is a really big underdog storyline in this sense. And this is the playoff bracket, so sometimes you're going to have this happen. But again, I think these are some very classic standard maps, and there's a lot more data to be studied if you want to go the anti-stratting direction, which I guess Sean, you'll know more about than anyone else here. Is there a world where that is something that can be an edge games in this matchup, because you have all of this data, all of these games played by a very consistent lineup in C9 White?
I think so, actually. I mean, I didn't really think much about the anti-stratting perspective initially, but now that you bring it up, yeah, that's something that could come into effect. Lunar Cats is the IGL for Nothing to Lose, and Celsius might have a role in this, right? Like, Artstar definitely has a lot of knowledge as well when it comes to that type of play style. She's played with Emily in the past. Sarah Star has tons of experience as well. So I would be shocked if Nothing to Lose just comes in here and quote unquote plays their game, right? Like that would be kind of a surprise to me. I think they're going to have some anti-strats prepared, and I hope Cloud9 White doesn't overlook that.
Well, it's the harmonious combination, right? Playing your game while also shutting down your opponent. Yeah. And as you said, C9 is definitely somebody you want to be stopping. So it's time. Let's head over to the SIG Agents Selects, guys, for our first matchup.
All right. Thank you, Lucy. Yeah, I mean, what are we going to see here, Sean? Because maybe this is where the madness starts. Maybe we're going to see some shenanigans right out of the gate with some interesting picks.
I want to see some Astras in play here, particularly on Bind and Haven. I just think they can control the choke points so well, right? Particularly on this patch. I think this is going to be a series where we see a lot more Astras than what we saw in that last series. So that's the number one thing I would look out for on the Agent Select.
Yeah, and it's so impactful too. And you got to get it in there before that new patch hits as well.
Go Lunar Cats going on the Astra, Katsumi going on as well. Man, the lineup for C9Y is just so good. I just think they've fielded such a good kind of diversity amongst the agents within the game, right? Like people that mastered their particular classes within the game, and that's what makes them such a scary team.
Yeah, and I did one of the 9 shows recently with some of the Cloud9 players, and it's really interesting to hear some of these things from Alexis and Mel in particular, who I was talking with, and asking what is the objective, what are you working on? And of course there's a lot that they're working on. They're a super hardworking team, but one of the things that they're always focused on is team chemistry and or synergy on the server. And as you're saying, like that is something that is definitely very characteristic about how they play. And there's so many edges to be gained by having a great synergy and awareness of your teammates and how they think and how they play, and also the complements of how one agent plays with another, and just exploring that and focusing on it. And that's some of the next level stuff that you can really see in this game because of how unique the agents are together. You can do some really cool stuff. So looking forward to seeing, you know, what they have to really throw off their opponents here. And starting out on the attack, is there anything that we should be expecting to see from C9? Why are they going to come out of the gate swinging here?
Well, with this double initiator comp, like with the Sova and the Sky, I mean, having a Trailblazer and a drone available to you on this attack side is so big. And look at this, 4-person A push coming in from nothing to lose. They gravity well the mid window to slow them down even more. They're right behind this hit right now.
I love the deep Astra smoke as well on a lobby. And there goes the Trailblazer, you know, talking about that info gathering to see, okay, what is actually going on? Let's spend a bit of resources on that. There's the flash, winning some forward position, or at least threatening that forward positioning on that A lobby spot. And it's a great response.
They sniff it out. Yeah, they sniff it out so fast because of that Trailblazer, and they just roll into an empty C site. And look, there's a retake cam on the wall, and very smart. Artstar's not going to activate that until it's time. They're just spraying the walls right up. Looking for it.
Yeah, big surge through garage coming through here for nothing to lose. And Jazzy ready and awaiting on that raise. No util remaining. The drone will get the tag there. Oh, Annie Dro's found a fantastic timing coming through at the back of garage, able to upgrade to the Ghost, and Alexis is finishing up a couple of these players as well. 2 versus 2 now. It's Pistol Madness as per the usual, and it's up to Alexis. Nice precision there with that classic, looking to finish things off. But it's Ariana to actually get it done and has just enough time, I think, just barely, to secure the defuse. Oh, it's so close. Oh. And it is locked in. Nothing to lose. Starting out, as I hope they're able to continue.
Wow. That was so insanely close. And I just want Ariana to get off the spike and, you know, walk over to the right side of sight right there, just predicting exactly what was going on. Such good game sense. I mean, wow. What a retake from nothing to lose. Very well done. And unlike the last game, we don't see the rebuy coming in on the attack side. Shock dart for front B. That'll take out the trip. I love that. That's something we didn't see in the last game. It missed. Oh, no. Okay. I lied.
All right. Well, it's the classic maneuver, you know, on a pistol. It's very difficult to gain much ground, but you can maybe get a spike plant on that B site. Ooh.
Look at the ground it's taking.
Yeah, Mel's actually found a good spot there, and this is looking very damaging, very dangerous indeed, and it's a swell of players coming through garage and B into C. This is a risky situation. Now, Ariana Kiss coming in from C long, that's definitely going to be nice. There's not a lot of position here for C9 to work with, and it's just Katsumi and Alexis now. So looking like a recovery is in store here, as Alexis has quite the task at hand, able to take down one at least, but that defuse looks to be coming through regardless, and indeed, 2 players left, but that's a hell of a lot of damage, and a spike plant. That's not a good look for nothing to lose, and C9 are going to be really nipping at their heels now.
Oh, I know C9's down 2-0 right now, but dang, these hits are super decisive, and they're scary. Like that B hit right there, they rolled up into the B site, breaking the trip, you know, from spawn. We saw that. And then they take control of Link. Once they realize Sova's there, they push through to C. And that is so hard to read if you're on the defense. And that's why, you know, Alexis gets those 2 frags. Ooh,
this control smokes again. Oh, and followed up by the long push coming through on C as well. I just love how active we're seeing nothing to lose being in these early rounds, Sean. And Ariana Kiss is in a great position to maybe even do some more damage. It is very difficult with the Spectre at that range, but again, the pressure is fantastic. Look at how constricted C9 are right now.
I love it. I love the aggression. We've seen constant aggression so far this half. I don't nothing to lose. Pushing A pistol. Now they're pushing C on the first gun. And this is a very big round, the bonus round. Like I said, they could snowball this half out of control if they win this. 2 Astra Stars on A at both choke points. Here's the drone and immediately pops the smokes up.
Got your trail. Found one.
And there go the Seekers as well for some extra measures. Jazzykin's able to get some love on the entry, and that's a clear sight now. Spike going down, and it's a 4 versus 3 for the post plant for C9 White, so they're looking strong on the defense. We do have a flank coming through, slowly but surely, from Arianakist. It's the hot hands there to clear that corner, and the push comes through. Oh, Meldo finding a fantastic timing to clear out the flank, so looking very well in hand at this point. C9 Whites.
That was awesome. The gravity well into the Killjoy Molly, into a shock dart. Like, those guys, those people stood no chance coming out of spawn.
It's not even fair. I mean, we talked about synergy. I mean, you can't get more synergized than that.
No, and I mean, that was a round you would expect C9 to win. I think they had to earn it. Like, they had to use an ult coming out of the sky. Yeah, that was kind of dicey. I like to see long push early coming out of the Phoenix and the Jet. Even they had the reposition on A. Man, this is gonna be a good game. I don't think Nothing to Lose is as big of an underdog as I once thought.
Yeah, definitely. I think, you know, we were talking about it previously, just being able to throw C9 White off of their game is going to be only done by picking the right aggressions, taking map control, taking initiative, you know, peeling off players and spoiling their game plan. And so far, we got that mid aggression coming through. You know, you've talked about it every round so far. Nothing to Lose throwing in the aggressions, and they're going to deal with that Killjoy turret. I love that. They get rid of it straight away. That's a huge win. Oh, playing the headshot angle. You just would have loved to have seen Ariana able to find something there, but they still have one player in mid, which C9 White may not account for. Plays to be made. Ooh, Alexis. Oh, wow, that was a real chance for Artstar.
Yeah, this
Man,
round
I'm
looks
afraid
over.
for C9 White in some of these situations.
This aggression looks like it could come up big on all these rounds, and it hasn't yet. So I hope that Nothing to Lose doesn't, you know, lose their confidence and keeps up the aggression, because there's definitely a world where these rounds go in the other way.
Yeah, absolutely. And then now this one will keep the defenders at bay for now, but firing squad of C9 White will make quick work of it. There is the Secret Lab Flawless coming through. But again, I feel like we're just waiting for a big payoff here from some of these bold and great plays, frankly, from Nothing to Lose.
Yeah, let's see if they keep up the aggression here, because this will be the first true test. You know, the first gun round. They saved after the bonus.
Well, Jet Knight's coming
has
out.
the Blade Storm. Yeah. She's going top B site with him too.
Watch this. Well, Cloud9 White putting the pressure on C long here. That's certainly going to cause a rotation. Will C9 try to commit off of this? They are going to be draining some defensive utility because of this pressure being so strong. And look, there we go. Jazzykins goes in. The trade comes through, though, from Arianakis, but C9 are just going off at the back of this. It is back and forward here.
Wow.
And Cat Triggered able to get one. The flash comes through. It is a defense that has prevented C-side access, but they've lost a lot in the process and are in a 2v3. And C9 can go anywhere.
Wow. Jazzy with the satchel up onto that box. What the Sova ult going on? What a hit.
Yeah, I wasn't sure how that was going to go, but that was such a beautiful play for space.
Dan, there's no way C9's going to be ready for this flank this quick.
Oh, the timing, though.
Oh,
Artstar's, that's the spike. Oh, the cage on the spike. And there is time for Artstar to slow play this. Oh, if Artstar can just kill this immediately. Oh, there's time for a full rotation if Artstar plays super slow.
That's some info. That's some info right there. And she also has another trip on the right side of site.
Oh.
So she knows that no one can swing right side site. There's a lot of info to work with right now. Oh, man, the Sova still has a drone.
patient stuff here from Artstar. Unfortunately, of course, killing that turret does reveal Artstar's position being of one of two places, most likely. And there's the nanoswarms, timed to perfection here, coming through from Melt. Lovely stuff there from C9 White to finish off the round. But again, nothing to lose. Are definitely showing us, Sean, that they have a lot of opportunities here and that they're earning. And it just feels like at some point one of those is going to hit for them.
Yeah, oh man, it seemed like Ariana was on such a well-timed flank because Katsumi cleared the window to garage. She peeked front B, didn't see anything, but Ariana was flanking through like the grass area of mid, and she hit such a good timing, but looked behind the box just to clear it, and got caught on the worst timing possible.
That pressure on the garage doors to begin with. Oh man, it's so annoying to be on the receiving end of stuff like that. One straight to the noggin. But hey, we've got the regrowth ready to go. Jazzy back up to 100. Important for the entry. And especially given that there's pistols mostly here for nothing to lose. They are playing retake with the Cypher util on A as well.
Alexis is using her utility so well. Just trailblazing through short A, clearing that out for her teammates. Using Guiding Light to clear out long. Like I said earlier, it lets you know when people get blinded. So the fact that no one gets blinded, they take long for free at that point. She uses one more in mid just now, clear out the mid push. So much info is gathered from this guy. And they still, I believe, have a drone. No, they use the drone. So Annie has used the drone, but a recon will come in. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, just really making it as safe as possible. You know, I respect that, especially if you feel like you're ahead in the ult economy. And they're in a good spot. Mel's one away from a lockdown. And nothing to lose. I'm not really in a spot where I could ever possibly imagine them wanting to burn ults here unless a couple kills are gifted. There goes the couple to try to see what they can make of this damage-wise. But again, running into the firing squad here, not a lot to be done. Artstar really trying to squeeze out any possible value. It's like you know when the toothpaste is just right at the end. You know, you just really just trying to find some way to squeeze out that extra bit, but there's nothing.
I've been in that scenario for like 2 weeks. Damn.
Yeah, exactly.
There's always a little bit more.
there's always more. It just depends on how hard you are willing to try.
And how clean you want your teeth to be, I guess.
Right? Yeah. Yeah, man. Dental hygiene is important.
A lot of ults in play here this round. Sarastar has the ult to cancel out Melt if used, accordingly. Like that's usually what you see happen. Oh, and run it back is done as well. There's that annoying Trailblazer.
Oh, just so decisive here.
Guiding Light over the wall again.
Yeah.
Catches Ariana in the middle of the open. Man, this guy is having so much impact.
Yeah, I mean, this kind of really goes to the point that you made previously, just that C9 White are going to be looking really great tactically. We have certainly been seeing that. Just winning some of these important early round moments with those tactics is huge on the attack. They're in a 5v4. It's like, oh man, it's so easy to like create pressure now. And now the defenders have to like take big risks or guess. Everything's risky. And look at the holes created here. And Mel's trying to abuse an open space on the C site, and she has timed it to perfection. But is there an anti-timing? There is. Look at that. Wins the battle somehow.
Tragic. Absolutely tragic. Now we're in a 4-on-4, and there's the Asher ult coming in. That's the attack-sided Asher ult, though. We also have a defender Asher ult. Oh, dear. Perpendicular lines out here.
Oh, that's a huge pickup from Artstar as well. And there's so much to play with here. Annie Dro, though, 2 very important kills there coming through. And that's going to be a 2v2 here. So at this point, it really feels like anyone's. Ooh, there goes Cat Triggered. Alexis announcing her position in style from backside. Artstar now with it all to do. And can't hit those first few bullets, unfortunately for her. But Alexis, of course, is going to be quite happy with that one. And Cloud9 White, I mean, that was a really awesome round, actually, from both sides.
Yeah, I thought the find on the CT push onto Mel, I mean, it was kind of fortunate, if we're being honest here, based on timing, but once they were in that 4-on-4, I love the decisiveness out of C9 to use the Astra ult, not even risk anything. You know, they played that really well because the round was in total jeopardy at that point. But here comes the C aggression. We get no time to break here.
Absolutely not. We'll see what can be done here. And actually, it seems like a pretty good guess because C9 were looking to go for a C hit. And, I mean, they're going to see so much here. They're going to know the rest of the map is for free at this point. So, nothing to lose could call a cancel very early here if they want to try to head out what would be an expected rotation. But C9 is so experienced that you could almost see them just waiting so long that then nothing to lose have to play for info again. And they start to be in a disadvantage. But using the util that they have to make things safe has been a theme here from C9 White. And look, Alexis is asking questions. Oh, goodbye.
It's not the answer she was looking for. No. Still, I mean, this is a free A site, 5-on-4, massive gun advantage. Terrastar has a Sova ult, but do they really want to waste it on a buy like this?
It's so tough, isn't it? Especially because I feel like C9 are managing their ult economy so well that they're always ahead in the ults, so they always have that extra answer. And here, like, just because they're so ahead, they get to use ults like this to just really guarantee the rounds that they are supposed to win. And they're still left with a Showstopper and Hunter's Fury and the Seekers. So,
wow, that actually detained that player. That's kind of a blunder that someone got detained right there.
Yeah, you hate to see that.
Wow. It looks like nothing to lose just wants everyone to die. Yeah, they're gonna take them out as the spike blows up.
Ooh.
Oh my god, no one's living on C9 right here.
Ooh, can they make it out of there in time? Ooh.
Oh, they just bust through. Couldn't have been more wrong, Dan.
I was just sort of awestruck. I was like, hang on, they're actually taking the least safe path here. That's a bold move, but hey. Can't argue with results. 6-2 in favor of Cloud9 White. But again, I feel like the score it wouldn't tell the whole tale here. I think nothing to lose. They're showing a lot of looks, and they're doing a lot of things right. And we're going to see a switch up here. The operator into the hands of Arianarchist.
Yeah, I don't know what the switch up is going to be. I mean, they faced a lot of difficulty pushing the extremities at C and A, particularly because the initiators, like I mentioned in the pregame, when you have a drone and you also have the Trailblazer, you can always go A. Whereas without those agents, it's kind of hard to clear out all these angles on short A. Right? It's a disaster to go through that zone of the map. But that's why you see C9 able to just seesaw between the sites so easily, because Annie saves her drone, Alexis saves the Trailblazer, and there's always one of them to do it. And I think even when Alexis got caught at C right there, she was probably going to go clear it out with the Trailblazer at that point.
Well, nothing to lose. I'm looking to find an opening pick from Arianarchist with that operator around Garage. So it's going to be interesting to see if this is going to yield any results. We do have quite a surge possibly from Cloud9, who have put a lot of pressure towards this position. So I like this choice. Oh, yes, the flick is good there from Arianarchist. Nice flick onto the head, and that is Jazzykins out of the round. And that's the showstopper gone too. The Seekers will be used immediately as Cloud9, off the back of that, they decide to speed things up here. I love this maneuver from them. We'll have to see if it's going to pan out in their favor. Mel trying to take deep positions here as she looks to get that off angle, working to her favor. But Arianarchist, out come the daggers. I love the confidence, up dropping over the top of right click. Out comes the classic instead. And it's going to be R-Star to get the trade at the very least. And there's not a lot here for Annie Drove. The shock darts, the position post plant, and Katri just says no.
No. Annie had the ult right there, and for those of you in chat wondering, there's just no way. She needed to get an opening frag, so very smart of her not to waste it right there. If she wasted it that early, all she's doing is just stalling the defuse for a few seconds. So I like the heads-up play to not use it right there, but what an opening pick from Ariana, and this one, heads-up play, not falling to Mel.
Arianarchist been on that aim lab grinds on the 6th shot. Or maybe the motion shot. I don't know.
Track them down.
Some kind of shot. Something's being shot.
Look at this. The double Astra Stars at A. Gravity Well, potentially a stun on short. Really putting it in the defender's minds. Don't play aggressive here. Trailblazer go clear out short. Recon to clear out long. It is so difficult to play aggressive at A against this team. God,
Yeah, they've been doing such a good job.
The sign of a good team, in my eyes, Dan, is one that you can't play aggressive on. You're forced to play passive into a style that they are very aware of. Oh my goodness.
Oh, the aggression is brutal. Great entries coming through. And again, tactically, everything is in place for C9 White to make their lives as perfect as possible. And Arianicus is stuck here on this flank. And I don't know that there's a lot of options here for nothing to lose. We'll see what they're able to cobble together if they decide to go for it. Or perhaps it's going to be the same case here. Just funnel them into Arianicus. Don't give any opportunity to exit. Just kill all of the remaining C9 White players as they try to leave the site. That might be the best case here. And it looks like that's what they're going to try to do. Cat Triggered has to live, though. Maybe the wall up here, something. Just try to keep this position locked out. But there is a safe passage now for C9. They're going to get away from the spike. Oh, wow. The awareness is just great. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Oh.
Cat Triggered it down as well. At least the operator's still in hand, but...
Hey, stop. She's already dead. No more. No more, Dan.
Like the scene from The Simpsons.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Of course.
So yeah. when do Simpsons references become too old? Is that?
We're probably already there. It's just we don't realize it yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just feel like they're supposed to be so timeless, but I don't know.
Yeah, that's what old people typically say about their things they like.
Well, the operator once again could be the difference maker here from Arianicus. Just has to find a fortunate first timing. We already know that Arianicus is good for the flicks. Oh, that's really unfortunate, actually. The bait's coming through will throw Ariana off of the angle. And it looks like C9 actually want to continue to push.
Look at this. Now a drone's coming. It's just like she cannot get an opening. She's trying to push the issue, and C9 White just doesn't allow it with these initiators.
And just look at the awareness, too. Just knowing that the flank is then open and just pressuring it. So then nothing to lose. Just look how... I mean, you talked about it, Sean, just now. Look how passive they are now. They just they try to get aggressive. They just can't.
C9 is going into the stack. Showstopper still on deck. Oh, dear.
Oh. Good follow-ups coming through again. This ult economy is just... Whenever there could be any hint, any whiff of trouble, the ults come in to really lock it in. And Katsumi's just found a really sick timing here. And that's R-Star down. Nothing Arianicus can do as well against that off angle. And that is 8 rounds. And what looked like a lot of opportunities... You know, opportunities are great, but they have to at some point hit at some point, and that unfortunately has just not been the case here. Nothing to lose.
These C9 site hits look so good when they throw the paint shells behind both A site and C site, Sova arrows coming in, sky guiding lights going over the sites on both sides. Like, there's just so much utility that they're dumping on these sites that you can't play passive. But nothing to lose, can't play aggressive. So what do they do, Dan?
Yeah, it's
They need to retake or something. They need to just stay and spawn.
Schrodinger's cat situation here.
Yeah. Oh,
they're both alive and dead at the same time. Okay. C9 once again kind of walking it to and fro. Just again, it just this walk to and fro, the pressure that they're throwing up, it's creating a situation where, again, as we said, nothing to lose. Don't feel like they can get aggressive, really. They can't really read the pacing or the timings. But they still have to do it. They still have to take the risks. And that's the really difficult thing here. Another psychic comes through, and it's just beautiful. Just as you were talking about, Sean, it's all very well pieced together and drilled here by C9 White.
Oh, I'm gonna plant the spike. Let me just drop 2 Molotovs on it real quick. I still have this alarm bot.
Cosmic Divide. Annie in a
Cosmic
really sick
Divide.
position. Very well played by her, and oh dear.
Poor Cypher. Poor Cypher.
Yeah. Oh, and the drone goes through first.
The drone goes through.
It's just, okay, well, they're going to try to do what they can to break through now, and Jazzy will actually whiff that shot, but Katsumi on the other end of things hit really connecting, and it's just, maybe there's a whiff, but it's just across the entire team, the performance is just at such a high level. It just really doesn't seem like there's a lot that can be done in some of these spots, and yeah, Katsumi has really been connecting. 17 kills here, hitting every single headshot.
Oh my goodness. Remember that time earlier on in the half where I said nothing to lose is a lot less of an underdog than I thought? That was the top, and we should have all sold at that point and just bought massive invest into C9 White because I was so wrong. C9 White looks so good. Oh my
yeah,
God.
I mean,
it's not even nothing to lose looking bad, right?
Yeah, it's crazy when one team has to take a lot of the correct risks, and it doesn't look like the other team is taking any risks, but all of those risks the other team's taking are necessary. It's like, that's kind of what's going on right now, and it's like, hang on. That's, it seems like White are really positioned very well in that sense, but it's the second half pistol. We'll see if things can turn here on these, as these sides are switched. Nothing to lose now on the attack, trying to hit this A site quickly. It is looking difficult, Mel. Oh no.
No, Mel, stop that.
Don't do it. Don't. It's just not fair. C9 White doing a good job defending here. Just one left. Luna Cats with the ghost. Seeing what she can get done. She's picked up the spike as well. A minute to play with a decent amount of health remaining. And there is certainly moves to be made here. A 1v1 for Luna Cats. Oh, the tags come through. Alexis locks it in. And that's the 10th round on the board for C9 White. And it looks like they will continue as they have been.
Jeez Louise. Look at the support players on C9. Katsumi, Alexis, showing for 17, 15 frags respectively. Like, what more can you ask for out of an Astra and a Sky? Their lineup's so stacked.
Yeah, it is really awesome to see.
Don't give them ground.
We might get a fast hit here coming through onto the C site. The guiding light, though, is ready. Ooh, it goes pretty deep, but it's going to get some key information. Like the reposition coming through here. Trying to keep hold of backside. Oh, Mel's in there. They're able to trade out that kill quite nicely. A 2-for-1, a 3-for-1. Mel, out comes the classic. I mean, could have had it to nothing to lose here. They are getting at least a couple kills. They couldn't quite manage to take side control. And again, just good repositioning from C9 White to make sure that they guarantee that they hold backside.
Oh, man. I thought C might have been the play because if you looked on the mini-map, and we'll probably get to see it again because it wasn't really used in... Watch this setup that's about to go down from B. It's going to be insane. There's going to be Killjoy and Astra stuff. Oh, no? Oh? Mel? Yep, there it is. Alarm bot there. No, she's not doing the mollies this time. The B setup was unreal in that last round. There was just zero shot that nothing was going to go B.
And this is
clearly saying I'm reading it.
Yeah, this is the hope. This is the chance. Trying to play the bonus round with worse guns. We've got a very fast push coming through. Alexis able to actually finish that one off. She's been left quite low here, but the important part is that she managed to trade out the kill and she's got the site under control.
Wow. And then she sends the guiding light into short right there. I mean, she felt the pressure of the hit, right? She doesn't know if she's being hunted down when she gets tagged by that drone, but the guiding light not blinding anyone short allows her to catch her breath, regroup in the site. Jazzy rotates, and now the A site is kind of locked down. I mean, look at the double Asher stars.
Yeah.
This is going to be a hard site hit.
So much good information. You know, the Trailblazer, there was such... It only saw the Astra, but sometimes like seeing the right agent is enough if you know the other team. And here comes the push. Can C9 White hold this? Looks like Jazzy was ready to almost give up the site there and play retake. And in goes the push here from Nothing to Lose. Nice angle coming through to try to defend this one, but a very, very good couple entries have been found now by Nothing to Lose to secure site control. And Dro might try to get a little cheeky there, but it looks like Lunacats is on that angle. Very responsible stuff, preventing anything from going awry before the spike is planted. They've now fallen into post-plant positions, and it's looking increasingly unlikely that C9 White should be able to find a way back in. Never say never, of course, as Katsumi will announce her position, just being touched by that. Oh, the distraction, just tapping it as much as possible to create distraction for Dro. And now here comes the push. Finally, are they able to find the kills they're looking for? Katsumi in the side, able to take one down, but that's a wrap. It is the conversion coming through for Nothing to Lose.
Yeah, I mean, I was falling for the bait too. Oh my god, cage noise, cage noise, cage noise. Look at me, look at me. Arrow hits the wall. Oh, it's just so... That was pretty clever that they had all the cage noises, and then the arrow hits the wall, pings the default spot. Could have gotten sketchy, but yeah, just a bonus round there for C9 White. And this is where Nothing to Lose really has to start making a comeback, right? This is a must-win round if they're going to mount a comeback.
Yeah, playing that bonus round is kind of like the one chance your opponent's kind of going to give you in a situation like this, and it's the beginning, it's the start, or at least it is the possible start of something. And here comes a Garry's control using the run it back. Oh, that's so unfortunate that Cat triggered that, losing the run it back there prematurely through that wall. At the same time, Ariana Kiss with the pressure towards C Long, and the Seekers are going to be forced out as well. It does feel like Nothing to Lose are doing a good job here so far.
Yeah, I love the garage setup, though, to have the Killjoy turret bait. Dro knows how to perfectly time that, knows exactly where the bullets are coming from. Takes out the Phoenix clone. Now Nothing to Lose, regrouping here towards front B, but this is definitely going to be an A hit, based on where the spike is.
Very smart. Hot hands in the dark cover. Rather, the smoke there that was back sight. Katsumi with such a strong off angle there. They're just going to feed straight into her. She's just hitting everything here as well. C9 looking to defend this one. R-Star with the lurk into A. Catches one. It's a second to be had here for R-Star, but won't come to its conclusion. And Sarah Star unable to connect as well. So C9 White now 12-4. Again, there's been a lot of promise here for Nothing to Lose, but just missing that extra touch to find the conversions on some of these rounds. And C9 White looking, I mean, comfortable is maybe the best possible word.
I mean, Dan, this is the utmost comfort. I wish I was this comfortable as C9 look right now. I mean, up 12-4 like this. There's almost no world where they don't close out this map in my eyes. Like, they just look so tactically deep on Haven. I doubted, why they picked this map, given the fact that Nothing to Lose has an insane win rate on it. But they just look like the much better team here.
Yeah, it's always so awesome to just respect the details in the game that have been placed there by C9. There's just a lot of little things, and that's, of course, what it comes down to. The drone tag, the follow-up with the Hunter's Fury. Looking to catch that kill, but nice dodges coming through from Dro. Although, oh wow, missed that one, but that sounded really good.
Yeah,
and it was a Marshall, so it had to be pretty sick. It was a penetration kill too.
Nothing excites me more than the Marshall's price being lowered, by the way, in the next patch. Just
yes,
I can't wait to see the Marshall clips.
It's such a good gun. And there's the spike now going down, and see what Cloud9 White can do here to retake this. It's actually going to be difficult.
The lockdown is about to come into play. Lunacats uses her ult as well, so this is going to be actually a really tough retake. But they'll run through this wall because, Killjoy ult.
Exactly. Very well put, very succinct, very concise there. And there comes the defuse. Pressure is on right now. Coming off of it, though, Katsumi. Mel able to find the kill into Lunacats, who desperately had to, in a panic sense, push onto the spike here. The pressure is just too great. And that said, time is still a problem here. Sarah Star gets the key kill. Oh, the finish for the clutch from Sarah Star. Fantastic stuff for Nothing to Lose. Keeps them in it. Just at least one round longer. Great performance from them.
That's massive. Wow. That's a very hard clutch to win, too. They knew exactly where she was. Gun advantage. Peeks out, destroys them with the ghost. Okay. Okay, that's some life coming out of nothing to lose here. A C9 on the back foot. Not a full buy. Do you believe, Dan?
I see a judge, Sean.
Are you judging?
I see a judge.
Get out of my way.
It's on Jazzy, too. We haven't seen Jazzy use the showstopper. Honestly, she's never been put in a situation where she's needed to.
Yep. It's just always been there, ready to, bail them out in case something gets desperate. But, ooh, I love it. Love a good Guardian as well. And the push comes through onto the C site, and the weapon advantage really working out as it's supposed to. That said, though, Alexis might make things complicated. Jazzy's now in a forward position with the judge. Not the optimal ranges here, but he's... Oh, no. Jazzy's found optimal ranges with that judge, putting it to great use. She has decimated the push in R-Star now with the Guardian in the 1v2. Unfortunately, though, the Spike is down on the ground in a very bad position.
Camera taken out.
Time to work this.
Immediately taken out, Dan. No info gotten from that, really. Can't work up in time. Oh, she gets pinged by the Sova Recon.
You just got to go happy mode here and just run all the way. The Guardian, just get the 2-1 taps.
They're playing off the turret, though, Dan. The second this turret shoots, they're double pinged. Oh.
It's like having a third player. It's so difficult for our star. And Cloud9 White going to finish things off 13-6. Really impressive performance from Cloud9 White. We talked a lot about the fact that they were heavy favorites. Nothing to Lose showed us a lot of great arguments as to opportunities that they could have turned into something pretty awesome, but just couldn't quite get there.
Yeah, I have to respect their game plan. I think they came into Haven with an idea of what they wanted to do. They went up 2-0. So yeah, even though they lost like 13-5, 13-6, whatever it was, I mean, they started off well, and they should have probably got another round in those first 5 or so, and it honestly, all the credit in the world to C9 White. They just looked tactically deep. Every ability had a reason for it being used. Their site executes were on point. And now we get to go to Ascent, which is, I mean, nothing to lose is map pick. So maybe they can turn things around there.
There is something kind of beautiful about watching a team, even if it's just like maybe they're not even playing anybody else, but just seeing the way the movement is, how coordinated the spacing is, and all the utility at the right time, in the right place, for the right reason, everything for a reason. That there is something beautiful about that. To see that synergy and that work ethic that goes into creating something like that is just satisfying. I mean,
yeah,
it's just beautiful.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, every ability. I mean, you don't see any duelist watching that map on C9 White, like running off and dying all by themselves. There was no real terrible opening picks that went against them. They did such a good job of keeping their spacing tight and making sure every ability was used appropriately. It was like a masterpiece. That was a perfect game by them.
It's really cool too, because I think it really tells you a lot about the philosophy that the team has and that the individuals on the team have about how to play the game and where they think the emphasis should be. Because some teams are like, look at Sentinels, for example. Sentinels know how to play their strengths, and they're a much looser team in that regard. And they're gonna make picks. Like you're gonna see Rainers, thrown in there. Obviously, you got 10s. You're gonna see stuff with Jet that's just totally crazy. The Reigns will be let loose a little bit, and the philosophy here is just different. And so it's really cool to see that. But with that said, it is time to toss to a break. We'll have to see after the break if Nothing to Lose can cobble something together to capitalize on some of the opportunities that they got in map 1. I believe in them. We'll see after the break.
Show me what you got. Back that up, 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 ba Show me what you got. Show me what you got. Down, up, back up, God, down, up, back, God, down, up, back, up, God, down, up, back, God, down, up, back, God, down, up, back, God, down, up, back, God. Any reason to back down, so step it up. God, down, up, back, God, down, up, back, God, down, up, back, God, down, up, back, God, down, up, back,
Hey guys, welcome back from that quick break. See, don't worry, we got you. We're gonna come right on back for some more games in a jiffy. And we just saw Cloud9 White beat their opponents Nothing to Lose, 13-5 on Haven. That was map number 1. We're gonna move into map number 2. Now, first, let's talk about what happened there. Sean, I want to point out, you had mentioned that it wasn't that necessarily Nothing to Lose wasn't playing well. So what was it, aside from C9 White being C9 White? Walk us through what C9 did to really keep Nothing to Lose at bay.
This was a game that was won by utility. Like, I mean, you can see these site execs, like guiding lights going behind the site, paint shells going into the site, Astro Stars going into spawn. It's like, where do you play if you're playing in A? And we saw what happened when Nothing to Lose would play aggressive. It would get caught by trailblazers and drones and be pushed off your angles. So there wasn't really much of a solution for them. They would have had to have like a totally different style of play where they fake pressure, draw out utility, maybe play for retake, play super disruptive. It would have required a massive game plan change for them to win this map. And that's on C9. That's C9 having an excellent game plan. Like, this is, Dan mentioned it at the end. I mean, they were just, every I was dotted, every T was crossed. This was just really, really well played by C9.
Yeah, and I think... Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Lucy.
No, not at all. It's that darn delay again. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm like across into different continents, so it's definitely my fault in that sense. But yeah, we're seeing the stats coming up here as well in terms of the individuals, and I was going to make a greater point about like how the individuals function on this team for C9 White, and although of course there's a lot of great players on Nothing to Lose, they weren't really allowed to play their game. Katsumi looked so devastating, but it was one of those like quiet, super strong games where Katsumi was just doing the right things as it was set up in the team for her to do. It wasn't that she was going off as an individual and like really just ripping the throats out of her opponents. It was the case that every player on this team, on the C9 White team, knows where every bit of util goes. Yes. They all know where they're supposed to be looking and when, and it's all simplified in that sense. And they have a lot of experience together that it enhances their levels of focus so much, because you can just dial in so much, because they know that they only have to focus on such small pieces, because they've taken care of so much in their preparation as a team. So that just like levels up the players. And I mean, on the fights, none of them really look flashy. It just looks like it was supposed to happen. And so that's definitely a sign of a good team.
Well, yeah, this squad has been playing together for quite some time now. I believe the longest we have in the women's scene. And so, of course, we're seeing that synergy and that cohesion coming to fruition in everything they do. It is clinical. So let's remind our viewers here what our map pool is looking like right now. That was Haven going down. We're moving on to Ascent. Now here we got C9 choosing to defend on Nothing to Lose's map pick. So how does this fare for Nothing to Lose coming in with C9 on the defense?
Oh, it's going to be hard because, again, we're going to see Katsumi probably bust out that Astra. And C9 is going to get map control at the key choke points. So does Nothing to Lose have solutions, right, to open up the rounds and seesaw between the sites? Or is it just going to be static site hits, right? Like, is it going to be A hit, B hit, mid B split, mid A split, and there's not going to be any seesawing? If there's no seesawing, I heavily favor C9 in a matchup like that, because we saw, like Dan said, I mean, they can eliminate a lot of variables with their utility usage and their setups. And I think their rotations are so on point right now.
Yeah, I would almost have to see. I mean, it's just that classic situation where, you know, if you're behind in terms of just the overall level of your team, you have to take risks and just hope that the variance kind of plays a little bit in your favor, and that can actually, you know, turn out very well and allow you to have more opportunities if it goes your way, because you can start to put the other team in spots where maybe they get a bit comfortable, maybe they feel the pressure a little bit, maybe they make some more individual mistakes, and it kind of opens up the game a bit. And as you throw them off their game by maybe hitting, you know, rolling the dice and, you know, hitting the number you're looking for a few times in a row. And you might also want to try not to play their game, the things that they expect, and just try to default against them and try to play the you know, strategies that might be expected, but try to gamble on the ways that you play the attack. Try to play a gamble style where you're just spending a lot of players in like certain spots to try to convert map control, and almost spending too much to do it. You kind of have to play risky like that, I think, to try and give yourself an opportunity against a team that is so good right now.
Yeah, and I think part of the solution for Nothing to Lose is what we saw in Haven, right? A double duelist comp, trying to get the duelist activated versus the single duelist C9 comp. And I think we're going to see the same thing. We're going to see two duelists versus one. And if the duelist can open up the rounds, this is what we said in the pregame, you know, things will go a lot better for Nothing to Lose. But in that first map, they couldn't. It wasn't even possible, right? I think things will be a little bit harder on C9 on Ascent because it's just a bigger map. But still, I mean, Nothing to Lose has a lot to prove on the second map.
They do. And usually Nothing to Lose doesn't typically run double duelists on Ascent, but we're going to find out, right? Because this is the weekend where we're changing things up. You got to evolve or die, everybody. So this is it. Map number 2 on Ascent. Guys, let's find out what happens here.
Yes, thank you, Lucy. Yeah, straight into that agent select. And yeah, I mean, this could be a place where we can start to understand what it could look like. We can, you know, in terms of what Nothing to Lose will be working with, how they can maybe find some winning conditions. So, you know, let's talk about that a little bit, Sean. You know, what do the win conditions look like as we are seeing Nothing to Lose starting out on the attack, and we're starting to see them lock in some of these agents?
Yeah, I think Cat triggered hovering over that Reyna. That's what I was looking for. I was looking for a Reyna pick when I was mentioning that in pregame. I think Lunar Cats is kind of trolling with the Yoru hover right there. And yeah, I really wanted to see these duelists that we have right now and Nothing to Lose. The Jet and Reyna picks where you can play very disruptive and you can live, right? So you can kind of go into this utility, this annoying utility that C9 has, and you can try to make an individual play and live. Right? If those two have success, Ariana and Cat Triggered, I mean, they could easily steal this map. This is such a clash of styles. I don't think it's as black and white as people think it is.
Yeah, and,
What
and
style do
especially...
you
oh,
like,
go ahead.
Dan? What style do you like between these two styles? Like the double duelist, Reyna Jet versus the solo duelist Phoenix. Like, what do you think about this?
Do you mean in general? Or do you mean for like the
Yeah.
matchup?
Yeah, I mean in general, because things have changed since the last time we casted, so I'm curious.
I think for me it actually becomes at the elite level so much about the players, and I think if you can make the Jet Reyna work, I actually think it's very fun to see that, because I feel like you can get really aggressive on this map and you can play the rotation games so well. And the issue is that the Reyna, I don't know how much I rate the Reyna flashes, especially given how powerful flashes are and how cheap it can be to take space with other agents, with like the other initiators. But either way, we're gonna see how that works out here for Nothing to Lose. Maybe this is like a Hail Mary kind of decision to go for just a more firepower oriented, mechanical oriented style. I think it's a great choice, and we're gonna see them opening things up here on mid.
All right, Jet Smoke on Cat to start, following the Sovadron fast into a mid B split. Alarm bot activated at mid. Look at the rotate coming in from C9. All 5 players will be here by the time this hit happens.
There goes the Leah. Duelist making space. Trying to play back boathouse though. Cloud9 White. Oh, Mel's creeping in the smoke, looking for the timings. And my god, Mel's classic right click. I need some of that, because mine does not shoot like that. But still, the site will go to Nothing to Lose, and Cloud9 White are on the retake, and they're down a player as well. So certainly not going to be easy. Jazzykins a little bit weak. Might have the heal on, ready on cooldown soon. But it does seem like Cloud9 White are going for it.
Sova MP main might have a recon on deck very soon. Won't even
All right,
matter, Dan.
okay. Man, there wasn't even time for words for that. It was in between words, in the breath, that all of those kills happened there. And I mean, that's the pistol for you. Nothing to Lose opening up with the pistol victory. And you know, I think this is a great sign. Obviously, seeing the underdog getting that pistol win and being able to start off taking the initiative. But the first hurdle, of course, as always, will be dealing with the eco.
C9, oh my gosh, the 2 shorties in play here. One on both sides. I kind of want to see it happen, Dan.
How dare you?
Oh, I love it. Oh no.
Oh, this is actually so awesome.
Oh, the Phoenix broken for. Let's go. It's going to happen, Dan. I believe.
Ooh, the bait as well. The bait. It's just, I just can't. It's just too perfect. It's just. And here it comes. Oh, Jazzy wants it. It's gonna get it. The shorty comes in, and there's the hot hands to get away. I mean, if Jazzy even wants to get away, making the shorty look really good right there. Ooh, steals away the Spectre too. The upgrade. Oh, there's no punish either from above in time. Jazzy's out of there. The kill, the gun. Oh no. I mean, that. I feel like if there's anything that like just tells us about this entire game, it's just that moment. In a nutshell, the entire game.
That's criminal. That she gets that and gets away. Unreal. The fast mid B splits in though, and Mel is going to be in a 1-on-4 here. She's going to play for the retake. I love this. She's a short. I just can't. I can't. It's happening here with the shorty. 2 shorties, 2 kills on either side of the map. Very impressive stuff from C9 White to facilitate that. But still, they got to get the retake in, and it will be tough. Dignitas has that Astra utility ready to go. Recon on deck right here. Oh, this is going to get him too. This is going to ping. Oh, wow, they're so fast. Timing not working out there for Sarah Star. And there comes a recon from Annie Dro. Cloud9 White, in they go. As Sarah Star's looking to try to defend this. It's just too many players. Arstar has it all to do against 3. And the numbers, again, are going to secure it here. And there is more than enough time to get this defusal in. And, oh, the Thrifty comes through. The fire is Thrifty. And, again, Sean, you just got to, like, respect the amount of detail in this setup. The bait here is so strong. It's just so strong. It was very well played. To have Phoenix break that for, not panic and instantly shoot it with the shorty, that's really smart. I mean, Part of me feels a little bit bad for wanting that to happen with the shorties, but that was such a sick round by C9 White. And like you said, I mean, it's just it perfectly, you know, shows how this series is playing out.
Just so much thought into these small plays, just getting that extra value that can make the difference. And well, starting off with the Odin and getting a kill is not a good way to start your buy rounds, or being on the receiving end of that kill is not a good way to start your buy rounds. What is the move here, Sean, for nothing to lose?
On a round like this, severe gun disadvantage, obviously. Ariana did invest into this Vandal, so maybe she can make something happen. I'm gonna wait out this smoke mid. That Recon's not actually gonna ping Katsumi.
Katsumi in the smoke. It is very brave to do this. They are a player ahead here, so there's no need necessarily to actually go for that. And you can see just creating the pressure there, just suggesting that there might be a push coming in from the flank. But unfortunately, it's going to be looking quite impossible to challenge this Odin. It's just looking far too strong here, coming through the ace with the Odin from Anidro. I just don't know what to say about that, honestly. It's grotesque. I mean, it wasn't against the buy round, so there is that. But still.
There's only so much I can take, Dan. I'm getting dizzy. I'm getting dizzy from the Shorty Odin combo right now. I can't. What's happening next, Judge? I can't take this anymore.
Bucky is the next level.
Stinger,
I've seen a Bucky in a hot minute.
Wait till the next patch when the Stinger is dirt cheap.
Oh no, the Stinger is still really good as well. People just don't. I don't know why they didn't believe in the Stinger still. Anyway.
You've been on Stinger Gang for a long time.
Yeah, man. It's the money. But we have a full buy here, and we don't have really any map control at all from Nothing to Lose. They're focusing their efforts on A main mostly. Just have one lurk in mid, and this looks scary. C9 White look actually ready to set up a fight for this. Flash is available.
God.
Oh, this is so aggressive. And Alexis is waiting for the perfect moment. They have no idea about Alexis. Coming in, takes down the player, carrying the spike, and now taking ground with that spike, dropping the hot hands, winning the fight. It just cannot go any better for C9 White. Beautiful series of plays. And Alexis just understanding the perfect timing to just completely stuff this attempt onto the ace site. It doesn't appear fair right now for Nothing to Lose to be up against some of these plays. C9 White doing such a great job.
Ooh, good find from Artstar. Puts her in a 1-on-2. Very difficult. But she has a lot to work with. Ooh, turret. That'll give her some info. So she knows at least one is on the right. 13 seconds.
Great play coming in again from C9 White to make sure it's guaranteed, playing off of one another. And there it is, 3-1.
I mean, you mentioned it. Ariana taps the orb because she sees the Astra Star chilling there, you know, on the orb. That causes the gravity well to initiate. That causes the slow to come over the wall. And that causes, you know, the Phoenix curveball to come around the corner and the quick A main retake. Right? The Phoenix lurks into Wine with that. And then the Sage is just playing close with that wall. And once that wall comes up, there's no shot you're clearing Wine at that point. There's just no shot. You have so much to do before you ever think about clearing Wine. God, C9 is just being such a nuisance with the utility.
Yeah, and now the shenanigan walls. No, that is just... Oh, that is something special from Jazzykins, just finding a hair and taking down Ariana. The Sheriffs will be put to work. And, I mean, they are not doing too bad of a job here. Taking down Jazzy and Alexis will leave Cloud9 White with 3 players. And lots of time left here. There is an opportunity to be had. Although, out comes the Odin once again. And he drove down to 17, though. So, looking like a much better situation. The Frenzy doing some serious work here. Now it's down to a cat triggered against 2 players. Spike is on the ground again. Time to work with, but doesn't understand the position of Katsumi. And that's another round for Cloud9 Whites.
Oh, It looked like, you know, Nothing to Lose had all the trades going their way. But again, it's not like C9 looks like they're significantly better aim-wise. It's just every setup, every piece of utility is just so well coordinated with everyone else on the team. The Sage wall going up, she has people protecting her, she has a catwalk set up. And it takes a lot for Nothing to Lose to even get in these 3-on-3s, in these 2-on-2s, you know. Even getting those trades is difficult in these setups. It's a testament to how good C9 White is looking in this matchup.
Yeah, definitely. It's, again, I mean, you know, we've just credited their utility usage over and over again. And what's great about it is that, like, just seeing these setups in play, you know, it feels like there's so much cool stuff to steal if you're a team watching. There's just so, like, and it's not even necessarily the setups directly, it's the principles behind the setups, whereby you're using something like a Q to understand when you should initiate your setup, and using baits, using each other, trying to suggest there's only one player there when maybe there's two. Like, these are just principles that you can apply across any map when you're creating strategies, and it's great to see the demonstration C9 White are putting on for us here. But as we go into this next buy round, we'll have to see if Nothing to Lose can find something in this one. And we see a more typical spread, possibly a 1-2-2. We'll see if how much they invest into B main here. The spike is towards B main.
And he still has that Odin. Oh my goodness. Look, they're just waiting. They're so scared. The gravity well's right there as well. When it back is used, oh my goodness.
Oh, just straight through the layer. Alexis getting max value from that run it back. Anidro backing it up there, protecting the body with the Odin.
That's what I mean. There's just always someone backing up someone else, and unless you just win the aim duels, just right off the bat, you just one-shot, you know, the Phoenix ult coming your way, there's likely a layered piece of utility or a person. It's just so difficult.
You shall not pass. Wait, is that reference too old as well?
Sorry, what was
a
that?
Lord of the Rings reference, you know, Gandalf against the Balrog.
Yeah.
You know, you shall not pass. Is that too?
No, I don't think that's not dated yet. There's
that's
no
still
way.
okay.
There's no way.
It's not sure anymore. Anyway, we'll get the 2 nanoswarms to slow things down even more. And again, it is a question as to whether they can breach the choke point at this point. VALORANT have done a pretty remarkable job in slowing things down. Although we'll get that pushed through eventually, but just straight into the utility and the just masses ready to defend that A site position well in advance of the push. And another round in the bag for C9 White, looking even better than on Haven at this point.
Yeah. I mean, I mentioned it before the game, the choke point control. Look at what's going on at B with the Phoenix run it back, with the Odin spamming. There's so much going on at B, but also at A, they had a Sage wall, and the Sage slowed right after it. They had 2 Killjoy mollies. Like, it just takes a lot to get into these sites right now in C9 White. It's not like you can just rush in. You have to kind of take your time, lead out the utility, and you have to have full map control. Otherwise, they're just going to rotate in. And they're still sitting on the Killjoy ult right now.
Yeah, that's the thing. And that was something that they did so well on the first map as well, is to get the old advantage and not just get it and just burn them, but just understand how to pace them so that there was always, like, if something went wrong, they could use that advantage to just have an answer, have some get out of jail free card ready to go at any time. And given that they don't necessarily need the ults to accomplish goals of taking sides or winning rounds, the ults are left in reserve for when things go wrong.
Oh, this is a fake though, Dan. Look, the Killjoy ult over here at the A site has pulled the entire rotation. Oh, they have an empty B site. But Mel has the lockdown, so even though this site is empty right now, if she can get to boat and pop this ult, it's over.
And also the Server Recon plus Anidro having that Odin is pretty dangerous. And I like the sense here. You gotta try to get some kills. You gotta try to push out of the site. You can't allow them to just walk into a site. Oh my god. Mel just runs through, just
now.
I can't believe it.
Right here. Oh dear. Oh,
there's that Odin. Oh. Alright, oh, that's unfortunate. Gets 3 tags, but oh my god, Mel is like the Predator right now.
None of them died, Dan.
Yeah.
Flawless.
Secret Lab Flawless comes through the Cloud9 Whites. Nothing to lose. I mean, you'd love to see them scrape together at least a couple rounds in this half because, again, you know, they're not finding much success on the attacking side, but, you know, the defending side could be somewhat of a different story. We'll have to see. Again, I think, you know, you mentioned it, Sean. It does come down to early map control, and you need to be able to have answers to B main control, A main control, and possibly even mid control to at least manipulate their rotations so you can play a mid round. But we're not really getting to a mid rounds in a lot of these rounds.
This is how the game started off, right? I think Nothing to Lose had their eyes on mid, and a couple of those hits got shut down, they got defeated, and then they went into sight hits, which is what I was afraid of before the game started. Oh dear. Oh dear.
Oh my god, Alexis.
She's just destroying it in the series.
Yeah. Yeah. There is just this confidence from C9Y, and I mean, you can't. There's no surprise that they are playing so confidently. When you know that your game plan's working, when you know that the player next to you is just owning, when everything feels comfortable, man. They're so comfortable. I mean, they're probably playing in like the velvet bathrobe, the velvet slippers.
They're in the library with you. They're just chilling there.
I mean, they're having a spa day right now here on Ascent.
Oh my goodness. Double Astra Stars over there at B main. Killjoy turret for first contact. Sarah has the double shock dart lineup to deal with Annie, who's been spamming. But unfortunately, she's not there this round. I mean, the setup's just constantly moving, and it's impossible for Nothing to Lose to just get a grasp on what's going on. This is going to be a good B hit.
Ooh, oh, okay, we get the dash through the Nano Swarm. Straight into Mel. In position to deny that, and it's going to be an interesting one. There's still opportunities here as ground is gained, although they are down a player. Nothing to lose. Just a couple, you know, good connections away from looking to find a hold. Again, the Odin is very problematic because it's so effective at spamming into the site, and especially with the recon, it can be quite difficult. Able to clear out B main there. That's just so awesome. The teamwork there.
That's an insane piece of info.
Oh, the headshot found by Katsumi. Oh, it's just savagery.
No one.
No one survives. No one is left alive. Oh my god, it's just, I just can't, Sean. It's
just every piece of utility is planned. It's like they've played this game before and they thought through how to use every piece of utility.
It's like that Tom Cruise movie where, like, do you know which one I mean? I forget what it's called.
Something about tomorrow.
Yeah, Edge of Tomorrow or something, I think. Oh, that's a great. Actually, it's a great movie. Edge of Tomorrow, Live Die Repeat. Thank you, production there. Pinecone with the goods. Yeah, that's what's happening right now.
This is I don't even know what to do if I was on Nothing to Lose right now. They've tried everything. They've tried A, they've tried Cat, they've tried mid B splits, they've tried B. They just have to like default around the map and spread it out and just hope for the best.
And that wall is, I mean, it feels quite aggressive, and it's just very oppressive, just how much delay there is there. But even still, like, you know, C9 always seem to have more delay ready. Even if we get the Sage utility burned early on, Katsumi looking for the headshots. Oh, looking confident there. Oh man, that's just deathmatch right now for Katsumi, hunting heads. And oh man, Katsumi's just looking for frags right now, padding the stats. And Alexis to clean things up. C9 White 9-1 again. It looks hopeless right now for Nothing to Lose, but again, if they can find one or two more rounds, just something to work with to have a puncher's chance as the sides switch into the second half. I never want to count people out, you know, in this game.
can respect the fact that you're an optimist, Dan. I don't know if you took a lot of sales courses or something, but you're doing a great job.
Thanks,
I'm just... C9 White just look incredible. All right? I don't know what the solution is right now if you're on nothing to lose. Oh, dear. Ariana working up Cat. I think they just need to... Yeah, I think they're going to let their duelists try to take some fights right now. You know, instead of telegraphing these hits, they just need to wait out some of this utility.
Drone comes through. That's some information. One player tree. At the same time, looking for aggression towards B main. And they've got that forward mid control. I like this. Again, as you say, Sean, you know, perhaps an opportunity opened up. They get rid of some util from their opponents. They may force C9 White to have to use some info gathering utility as well. Ooh, walking through the smoke feels very possible right now. Oh, the transfer from Anidro actually does not look real. That looks like something just completely fake. I don't understand how that's possible. Anidro just causing problems. She is the problem with that Odin. Arstar known with a nice follow-up, and it's looking a little bit doable now at this point. 3 more players in market. Arstar making quick work of them. Giving Lunacats a fighting chance to the spike is down. Great follow-up from Lunacats. The second frag can't be found. The end boss, Anidro to Odin.
There can't be any more bullets, Dan. Make it stop. No more. No more Odin. That was disgusting. When she flicked from the Reyna Lear onto the face of that player, the Jet. I think it was Ariana.
Yeah, yeah.
That was incredible. That was so fast.
Oh my god. What? I'm telling you, Sean, if we see that again in slow motion, the gun didn't even have... The model in the game didn't have time to adjust to where the crosshair went. It was still in the air.
My old wrist is in pain just looking at it. Oh my god.
I don't know, man.
Get out of my way.
All right. Into the next round. We've got a lot of ults ready to go here for nothing to lose. They got 4 ults on deck. The Blade Storm, the Hunter's Fury, the Lockdown, the Cosmic Divide, all ready to go and be shipped out. And we've got Jazzykins. Might actually get caught by this. Does get tagged up. Arstar's going to go down, though. Alexis finding that one. Sarastar able to dodge Hunter's Fury there as well. Now Mel is ready to go there. Mel just knows exactly how to catch the dash. It just seems so... Again, like you said, Sean, like she's done this before.
Maybe she's Tom Cruise.
Spike down
Yeah.
B.
Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah, the timing on her when she popped those mollies was perfect. Catches the Jet alone. There's no trade in sight. The other 2 players would have had to run through the Asher smoke and through 2 mollies. It just wasn't going to happen. She played the situation perfectly.
Yeah, and she has caught that dash push multiple times now in that same fashion. Knowing the right positions, the spacing that she needs, her crosshair placement is just waiting for the dash because she knows that there's no other player that can gain space through the nanoswarm. So it has to be a dash play. So that's where her crosshair is. It's ready for that. So it's all quite well planned. Annie is having fun right now. It's just too much fun. Is there like a limit to the amount of fun you're allowed to have?
Well, it's your amount of fun you can have is directly, or it's inversely related to how much fun the other team is having. So the other team must be having no fun because she's having a lot of fun. You know?
Like negative fun?
Yeah.
Like a fun debt.
I'm not sure if it can go negative, but it's very close to that right now. If you're on nothing to lose.
Revealing area.
I just thought it was something funny, but we'll come back to that as we do have the pistol here coming in hot for the second half. Nothing to lose, trying to keep their chances alive in this one. If you missed the action, C9 White won the first map here, fighting for a chance to survive here in this series. Ariana Kiss will get the first opening kill, but some answers coming through quickly from C9 White, and it's a dash to plant on that B side for C9 White. Here come the Asher Stars quite quickly from Katsumi to try to cover all these post-plant positions, lock out these defending nothing to lose players.
Sarah has this drone. That could be pretty big. They might not even wait for it. They're just sending it.
Oh, I just love the scummy angles with on top of the walls. Fantastic stuff there on the Sage by Jazzykins. Terrastar and Arianikis, though, trying to make their way in for this retake. Still some time to work with. The spike is, of course, ever getting closer to detonation. And now they have to push forwards. Mel in the corner below, trying to really mess with the crosshair placement here. Mel with the jumping classic. Doesn't get it off with the right click. Can Jazzy end the dreams? She can! 12-1. C9 White, 1 round away from just utter domination in this series.
Yeah, I mean, is there any other way to put it than just absolute domination? Nothing to Lose won the opening pistol, right, Dan? That's their 1 round?
Yes.
Yeah, and then they
That
got
is correct.
ecoed. That is insane. And they also won the first 2 rounds on Haven, and they got 13-5.
Ooh, yeah.
Like, holy cow. This is such an insane performance from C9 White.
Yeah, they're doing a fantastic job, and not a lot to work with here for Nothing to Lose, but of course they're fully buying into this as it is. Their backs are against the wall. No more lives remaining. Oh.
Yikes, Dan. Yikes.
Okay. Still 4 players left. We got a Bucky, we got a Spectre, Sheriff, a Ghost. But the thing is here as well is that C9 White are not rushing things. They're just... They get the pick. They know there's desperation for Nothing to Lose. They might make some risky plays on the extremities. They're looking to catch any pushes anywhere on the map. And they're just looking to punish mistakes. That is the sign of a good team, is that you give no openings, you force your opponent to take or create openings for themselves, and then you punish them. Such as that.
I mean, this round, Nothing to Lose tried the exact thing that C9 did in the previous half. They played close with a shotgun. Look at the difference. You know, like, there's no dry peek into that shotgun. Even if there was, like, a turret, you know, Annie Joe's shooting 2 shock darts in that spot. She's so aware that that's a possibility.
Just here trying to finish things off Zanny Dro, but she's going to go down. I mean, maybe needs to purchase that Odin again. There may not be any more Odins. Indeed, 13-1. Cloud9 White close things down. And, I mean, it looked like there was some promise from Nothing to Lose on the first map. They definitely did a lot of things right. But Cloud9 White, they are on another level right now. And it is, even though you have these matchups that are very dominant, I have to say I do really enjoy watching all of the things, all of the work that Cloud9 White have done to achieve a result like this, as dominant as this. As you said, Sean, they have so much nuance in their tactics. It's just great to watch.
Yeah, this isn't a win where you walk away saying, hey, all 5 players on Cloud9 White are just mechanically better. This is a win where you say Cloud9 White is a much, much better team. Like, the players on Cloud9 White are individually skilled. They're very individually skilled. But holy cow, they synergize abilities so well. Like, I don't even know what Nothing to Lose could have done to win that game.
Yeah, they are so dominant. My goodness, and I guess Shopify's KP isn't getting a tattoo on the rear anytime soon. So there's that. You guys don't know, there was definitely some chatter over Twitter on that. So not going to be today, boys. But that's going to be Cloud9 White advancing and sending Nothing to Lose down to the lowers. It's fine. They've still got a lower bracket run that they've got ahead of them. Still an opportunity. So let's oh wait, are we talking about stats though soon here, or we want some replays? All right, it's fine. We're gonna talk about it. You guys kind of gave a lot of conversation already around that. I mean, it was such an unfortunate dominant display by Cloud9 White. Unfortunate, obviously, for Nothing to Lose. It's back to the drawing board for them, unfortunately. But, well, I mean, at least until they meet up for their next opponents. Maybe they're going to meet up C9 White in the finals. We're going to find out. Stay tuned. It's just, like I said at the top of the show, we've got very meaty top 8 squads here for this Game Changers Series 2. It is fantastic, right, guys? I mean, the Game Changers initiative has really just popped off in the women's scene and really grown up tons of talent.
Yeah, I think it's something that was missing for a long time in the other scenes that Dan and I have been a part of, right? I love the initiative to have this kind of thing in the scene, and drawing attention to just how skilled some of the teams are, and how much hard work goes into. I mean, Cloud9 White. I don't know. I probably couldn't in-game lead a team like that, like in Valorant. That was a masterpiece in how they just use utility. I don't know what the solution is off the top of my head to how to beat this team. This was such a good performance from them. Holy cow.
Yeah, it's really awesome to have the opportunity to also like develop or have more platforms to develop talent in this way in communities that don't have as much attention historically. And it's a great stepping stone. It's a great welcome place to do that and to get involved and to experience what it's like to play competitively like this. And it's just like what Sean is saying, there's so much work and passion that goes into competing in anything, and we're all united ultimately, like all human beings, in the desire to win. People who are competitive, there's just that desire to win that we can all relate to. And so it's just great that there is more places for this to occur in more communities, to allow just this to just bring up more and more people to just experience that feeling. Like, competition is something that changed my life, and I know that's got to be true for Sean as well, for competitive people. I don't want to speak to his story, but for me, it's just something that gave me a huge amount of self-esteem by just working hard for something and getting to achieve things through it. And that was massively impactful for me as a developing human being. So it's just great to see that more people get an opportunity for that, and it just doesn't matter like where it comes from. And this initiative is really, really fun as well, because I think in Valorant, it's just such an awesome community that's very welcoming to everybody, and that I love that's happening. It really couldn't be better in that way.
Yes.
I think that's very well said. Yeah, and I think initiatives like this, turn even the worst people into believers. Like this is so cool, and I'm so glad to have this in the scene.
And now it is time to announce our NYX Professional Makeup Match MVP, Alexis. Look at that popping off 3.8 KDA, guys. Phoenix went ham.
Yeah, and before that, she was on Sky, so doing 2 different classes of agents throughout this best of 3. I mean, she gave us a lot of insane rounds throughout this series. Like, she single-handedly won at least a half dozen rounds I can think of off the top of my head. Insane performance by her.
Yeah, congratulations to Alexis. So it looks like we're going to go back here and give some more context to that. And of course, this is a team game, so shout out to the rest of the team players in support of Alexis to reach that high goal. Now, everyone else in chat has an opportunity as well to reach that high goal, whatever that may be. It's that NYX Cosmetic giveaway happening right now. So pay attention. You're zoning out for some reason because, you love this part where there's no gameplay. We know that. So there is a giveaway happening, so look out. And guys, while we're waiting we have an interview on deck, so hang tight. We're going to get some words straight from C9 White. And while we wait, all right, I don't know. I feel like you guys have really already touched on a lot of things here. C9 White, dominant. They've been together. For anybody that's been living under a rock, they've been together since before the beginning. Before there was time, it was C9 White squad playing together.
I mean, it's, I can just jump in here.
Yeah.
Like, it's one of the questions is, and this is going to circulate, and this is in every competitive scene, is the top dogs, like the most elite. How do you beat them? How do you beat the team that just wins everything? And for some, a lot of people, like, we've had this in so many games, and I've seen so many opinions where it's like, oh, it's boring. The same team wins all the time. When in reality, it's like, well, this team is doing that by playing the most beautiful version of the game. And if you're a true fan of the esport, of sports, of competition, you like really want to see like that. You want to see that. It's like an anime. It's like, you have that unbeatable opponent. You have to just do everything you possibly can. You have to break all of your personal limits to find a way to defeat them. And that's like what competition is about in a lot of senses. And for C9 White, it's about something different. It's about staying on top. That's a completely different beast.
Yeah.
You're not chasing. The act of chasing versus the act of continuing to innovate when everyone's studying you. Totally different ball games. All of these ideas though are completely inclusive of the idea of just bettering yourself. So it's so for me it's like, how do you beat them? Well, that's the mystery that you have to unravel.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if it's going to come from a team with a heavy duelist comp like this, like Nothing to Lose, or is someone going to have to play C9 White's style, that strategic bog people down with utility style? They do it in such a clinical way, and you go by like everyone having footage on them. If they blow teams out like this, there's not much footage. 13-5, 13-1. I mean, there's not much to look at when you look at this series, honestly. It's just so impressive.
And it is really impressive because, as you said, with all the footage of them out there, and being able to know what they're typically doing, and C9 White can still dominate in that way. So really exciting to see. And this is also how everyone else gets better. You got to play people that are better than you, and that's how you find yourself up top with them. Someone will take down C9 White. I said it right here. I mean, I don't know when. It might be in a couple of years, but no, I'm just kidding. Well, anyhow, let's hear it from her mouth herself. Alexis of C9 White is joining us here for the Verizon post-match interview. Alexis, hello. That was a fantastic showing.
Thank you.
Hey, first of all, congratulations. Second of all, I want to point out you didn't usually play this map with the team when you guys were a 6 roster. How did this feel coming into Ascent and just filling that 5th role then for the squad on that map? Obviously, you guys crushed it. And was it seamless, or did it have a little bumps along the way?
It definitely took me a little bit of like getting used to playing Ascent because I didn't play it at all in scrims with the team for like 4 or 5 months. So I had to kind of get used to our defaults and my role as duelist because this is kind of like my first like official time playing duelist on the team for this long. So I was just kind of getting used to the role and our strats and everything.
Guys, do you have any questions for Alexis?
Yeah. I mean, do you want to jump in there, Sean?
Yeah, sure. I mean, now that we watched you play an Initiator, which, by the way, you were insane at. The Sky performance was so good. I love your utility usage. Everything was, like, perfect. Every piece of utility you guys throw, it seems like it has a reason for it and synergize really well with another agent. But which agent do you prefer? Like, do you prefer the Duelist class or do you prefer the Initiator class? Like, will we see more Duelist stuff out of you?
Maybe on Breeze for sure. Definitely gonna be playing duelist on that map. I don't know if I have a preference. It's kind of like, I guess it depends on how my mech is feeling for each day because like I love supporting my teammates with flashes and getting them kills with my flashes and using my utility really methodically, but I also love running in first and using my own flashes to get kills, right? So I don't know, it kind of depends on the day, I guess.
True. I mean, your Sky was filthy. I'm not gonna lie. Like, you caught so many people playing aggressive A in that match. It was absurd.
And I can jump in with a question. One thing that we were discussing is that the identity of Cloud9 White seems kind of like someone was kind of characterizing here. There's so much focus philosophically on just crossing the T's, dotting the I's tactically and strategically, and it doesn't seem like when we're watching and we're seeing great individual performances, it doesn't feel like when you watch, let's say, a Sentinels and it's like one player is the spotlight's on Tens or Shazam or somebody and they're just popping off because they have complete free reign. It feels like everything's sort of by design. Everybody's doing their job. Everybody knows the job to do. Who would you say in the team is most responsible for kind of this philosophy, for this way of playing the game? Who are the biggest voices in how you approach the game as a team?
Well, for the most part, we kind of all hold each other accountable and kind of tell each other what we should be doing and like what the best play is. I think as far as voices go, me and Mel are kind of like, well, Mel's our main IGL and I kind of secondary IGL. So we're kind of like directing our players on each side of the map for the most part. But we definitely all like chime in and help each other out and call strats on what we should do.
Yeah, is there a coach we can shout out here that's helped kind of get the situation sorted, or is it just straight up U5?
No, Moon and Dream are our coaches. They are the best. They help us prepare and keep us confident throughout the entire tournament. They are amazing.
Nice. Okay, one last question, and this may be weird, but I just love how Sean was mentioning about your guys' utility play, and it was just amazing, and obviously, especially with the way you played Ascent. You can say no if you'd like. if this were an anime, how would you describe your guys' play style?
Oh, I don't know if I'm the right person to ask that. I don't really watch anime. I just started watching Attack on Titan. That's it. That's all I got going for me. So I'm not the right person to ask.
Okay, my fault. All right, well, nonetheless, congratulations. You guys are advancing on. We're really excited to see what you guys do next in this bracket, and I'm sure you guys are going to be resting easy tonight, and we look forward to seeing you in the upcoming games.
Thank you, guys.
All right. I guess I kind of worded that wrong. What I was trying to get at was just like, it's a tailwind, and then a flash, and a boom, and a caw, and I don't know, a pew pew. Yeah, I worded that terribly. But anyhow, gosh, those women are nuts, guys. And, you know, they just, like you guys had said during the match, they are moving on those maps so confidently. They own every inch of the map. Their presence, even though these agents don't necessarily, posture up physically, but it just, you feel it by the way that they move, right?
Yeah, you feel the utility usage whenever you take a pivotal area of the map against Cloud9 White. And like Dan said in the cast, that's the sign of a great team is, yeah, it's hard to hit the sights on them, but it's also hard to even get a lobby control on them on Haven, or get garage control, or get, long C control. Everything is a struggle before you ever even get to the site itself.
It is. All right, well then, with that, C9 White may have won that matchup, but chat, you guys have an opportunity to win yourselves. More giveaways incoming. I'm going to read it to you right now. So definitely pay attention to the chat on more information. But who wants to win this sweet gaming chair? Guys, it's time for the Secret Lab VIP giveaway. Head over to dig.link/secretlab to enter, and you could win this award-winning Secret Lab Omega Stealth. It's super comfy, by the way. I mean, you know what? Make sure to follow all the socials at Secret Lab. Super simple, super easy. Enter in there. Good luck. We already have one. Oh, hey, I was going to show them. Rip. How's that? How's your chair looking there, DDK? Oh, wait, you're in the library. Okay.
I mean, I have these beautiful pillows. I mean, I don't think you can compete with this level of embroidery.
You have like
frankly.
two of them
so,
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
functional pillows ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a lot of there's lots of velvet in this room too. It's really nice.
Oh my gosh, stay away from the velvet. All right, hey, well, this is it for you guys. It was such a pleasure to open up the weekend with you all, and we're gonna see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Can't
stoked.
wait.
Yeah, stoked. I thought you said something else. All right, Hypes in chat, say goodbye. You guys are fantastic, and you guys stick around. We're gonna head to a quick break. Up next, one of these teams are going home, and it's gonna be Dignitas or Just Breathe. So stick around.
Show me what you got. money in the bank. Hit you with the bank. Hit you with the Hit you with the 808. Hit you with the Hit you with the 808. Bang to the break, bang to the break, bang to the break, bang, 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 bang. I'm a boss, and you know that I'm finna shine. Got the money in the bank. Got the money in the bank. Got the money in the bank, 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 bank. Got the money in the bank. Hit you with the 808. Hit you with the Hit you with the bank. Hit you with the Hit you with the 808. Hit you with the Hit you with the 808. Bang to the break, bang to the break, bang to the break, bang, 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 bang. I'm a boss, and you know that I'm finna shine.
Welcome back, everybody. It's the Verizon VCT Game Changers presented by Dignitas. I'm Lisa Malambry, aka Lucy May, and now joined by two of some of the most familiar faces in the land. You guys know him, Potter and Esports Doug. I am so, look at this, I'm the winner today. I've got so many fantastic talent I get to work with today. My gosh, Potter, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Just watching these matches from the background. I can't wait to get into it on my own here. I've only casted Valorant a couple times, so you guys will have to bear with me, but I'm excited to see some action.
Now's the time to learn, right? Esports Doug, you got a ringer right there to help you out. It's gonna be fantastic. I know it, right, Doug?
Oh, absolutely. I'm super fired up. And
Carry me!
Potter's like selling herself short, freaking galaxy braining. She's a player. She's a talent. Like, she's an analyst. She knows. Rest assured, y'all, you're in good hands.
Yes, the big brains. Let's go. Well, everyone, if you just happened to join us, we just watched C9 White take out Nothing to Lose 2-0. So Nothing to Lose is in the lower bracket. Next up, we are going to see some more action. Of course, let's take a look at the bracket right now and see how that has shaken up so far. We do have a second stream going on simultaneously with us. So let's see just what's been happening over yonder. DCC9 has advanced on. TSM versus GX3 is still underway. Goodness. TSM up one map. I'm going to bet, guys. What do you think? GX3 is going to at least tie it up 1-1?
Potter, I'll let you take that one. I like. Obviously, the TSM, the roster's really good. The organization's great in and of itself. But, Potter, I know you have some history either playing alongside or playing against a lot of these gals.
Yeah, I definitely do. And, you know, hopeful, wishful thinking, I think, for GX3 to pull through. But Kath, she's been putting so much work in, leading that TSM ladies. I mean, they had that roster shakeup. Ever since then, they've been punching back, and right now they're looking hot to trot. So it's going to be quite the challenge. I'll be very surprised, I'll say, if GX3 are able to take a map off. I think it should be a 2-0 for TSM. I have no idea what the scoreline right now, though, is, so I could be completely wrong.
Spicy. Anyone in chat? Let us know. Let us know. Pass it through. All right. Well, so the next matchup here happening right now, it's going to be Dignitas versus Just Breathe. We are now in the lower bracket, everyone. I don't think you understand. One of these two teams will be going home. You hate to see it, but both of these teams are cracked, guys. You see that? What is that little? What are they doing on the right there? Is he eating it?
I think.
Oh, I think it's like an oxygen tank, and that's like a mouthpiece. Yeah.
Just
They're pulling like, you know, it was a cloud before, so I was just like, wait, the cloud is morphed. But it is the #1 Dignitas squad. You guys have saw them dominate earlier. They did get sent to the lowers, but I just mean they're a great squad and all. And then Just Breathe as well, guys. This is gonna be a really spicy matchup. I keep saying that, but it's just, this top 8 is just so good. I'm so excited for this series. So yeah, let's go ahead and take a look then at, you know, some players we've chosen to spotlight. What are we gonna look out for here? It's Emily on the Dignitas side, Milky Way on the Just Breathe side. You guys, does anyone know the history with these gals?
Yeah, well, I want to start off by saying this. I think I've been a big fan of this Dignitas roster for a long time. I think all of the gals on the roster, they're just incredible. I think they're insanely talented individuals. But also, like, Emily's got a little fire to her. No, I know it's a Phoenix, no pun intended. But I really do think she's become an X factor. I think alongside Stephanie. But I love that we're highlighting Emily, and then also Potter was filling me in on a little drama, if you will, prior to the show with Milky Way and everything that's going on there. So I think this matchup right here is perfect.
Yes.
Drama. Listen, sometimes I like to make some more drama in my head than there actually is, but I will say that Milky Way, she very recently left this Dignitas squad after being on the squad since 2017, at the end of 2017, all the way up to 2021. So many years these ladies have competed together, won many tournaments together, and their transition from CSGO to Valorant leaves Milk on a brand new team. So I think just that head-to-head in and of itself is exciting to me. I know Milk, the last time, this is a rematch for both these squads. She's definitely going to want to put a little statement in the server for herself.
Yes, couldn't have said it better myself. Potter, let's take a look then what these teams have decided to lay out on. So as you all know, we've got 6 maps in rotation to choose from. So that 3rd map does get chosen versus just by default. And I believe it would be probably Dignitas choosing first. And that's going to be starting out on Ascent. And Breeze, guys, Breeze is here. How excited are you?
Yes.
Like Potter and I we were talking about this prior to the show as well. Like, she's been scrimming on Breeze a ton. I've watched a little bit of Breeze as well. I'm personally excited. I know the last 2 series have had Breeze, but I'm just really excited to watch these 2 teams play out on it. I think these 2 really, and I know we're getting a bit ahead of ourselves here, but I love the way that both Just Breathe and Dignitas play the map, so I think Breeze is going to be a lot of fun. But Ascent to kick us off, I think that one's going to be a good one too.
That is going to be a good one. And, you know, this is a really exciting start, I think, already from the Vetoes for Just Breathe side of things. The fact that they're able to kind of have a back pocket and Breeze coming out to play. I don't think Just Breathe started off the day today assuming that they would pick Breeze. I think it plays a role in how their last series versus CLG Red went. And I think they're just kind of rolling with the punches and seeing what they can get away with, especially because they have never faced up against Dignitas on that map. It's such a brand new playing field for both of these squads. We're going to see a lot of new innovative things, and there's really not a lot of wrong answers to be had on that map right now.
Other than losing. We're going to find out. That's map number 2. First up, we're going to have Ascent. So guys, I'm going to give it to you all as you head over into the SIG Agent Selects.
Thank you, Lucy. Yeah, it's going to be a good one. As she said, we're going to be kicking things off on Ascent. And I think the big thing that we need to talk about before we even really get into Ascent is Haven's off the board. That's a big map for Dig. Just Breathe getting that out of the way, and we're already seeing some of the picks come through. Potter, anything stand out as far as composition so far?
Ooh, probably the Astra coming through for Dignitas. I know a lot of teams right now. Well, I guess it probably depends on what patch we are playing. I probably should have double checked that before I say stuff, but
211.
Yeah, 211. Okay, so this would be Astra still strong. So of course we're seeing the Astras coming out to play. Probably, you know, I want to talk about that fire, the pun that you absolutely intended, Doug, earlier with Emily, because this girl, she is so aggressive and it works out so well for her, especially just thinking about Phoenix's kit and how it works. She gets that second life with that run it back. All of these factors coming into play, and she's the in-game leader. She's initiating so much space for her squad. So I'm loving the Phoenix pick coming out here for Emily.
Yeah, and I think another person that we have to keep our eyes on as you see Just Breathe is getting their selections through. We're also going to have the Astra, but Milky on the Reyna. I think Reyna's just such like a feast or famine type agent, right? If you're clicking, right, if things feel good, a Reyna can take over a game, particularly when you think about the pistol rounds and how devastating she can be in those environments. But look, if you're struggling, right, like if the train never left the station, it's going to be a long map.
Absolutely. And you know, that agent goes so well. It complements his Milky Way's playstyle. The way she played in CSGO, it absolutely transitioned over towards VALORANT. She's always going in first. The whole W religion is strong with this one, and she will absolutely be the first one into the action. And it's so strong having a player like that who doesn't back down, who isn't scared of whatever setup might be on the other side of things. Again, it initiates things. It allows her teammates to follow through, create some trade opportunities for each other. So I think that's probably one of the traits that we are probably lacking the most in tier 2, tier 3 players and so on, is knowing when to press W and hold down that W.
Yes, I think the key distinction there is knowing when to press W. If you folks are listening, playing in your solo queue matches, Potter did not mean just hold W. Do not hear that. It's all about when you do it. Folks, if this is really your first time watching Dig and Just Breathe, there is a little bit of background to these two teams. This will be the 4th time that they match up since, I mean, very recently, since May 15th. The record goes 2-1 in favor of Dig, but Just Breathe won the most recent best of 1 just a couple of weeks ago, but now just a few moments from kicking things off. Just Breathe is going to start off on the attack, showing a little bit towards B, a little bit towards A. We'll see what they can pull off.
And right off the bat here, you can see Emily. She's probably playing with some sort of flash bait setup. But the drone already getting that mid control. You can see she's trying to find whatever alarm bot, whatever intel might be in that area. And a pretty slow start. You know, usually right now, Doug, we're seeing pretty fast-paced pistols coming back into play.
Yeah.
But they're just trying to bait out the util at the moment.
Well, and you can tell, like, they're stacked up towards B. The spike is towards A, so you're seeing already some of this utility and information come out to lead them to think that the play's towards B, and they might actually rotate that way. I love the discipline that we're seeing out of Dig so far. They're not fully sending towards B based off of just the snippet that they saw. It looks like they're trying to stay home, and that looks like it's exactly where Just Breathe is pushing into.
Yeah, and Slays is trying to do her damnedest to sell whatever she can, but you could see the movements already coming through. The jig is up. They know it's not going to be a B hit. A lot of util from KJ is already set up towards this tree area.
Right.
30 seconds.
So that should be a lot of splash damage. Ooh, Slays though, the timing. This might be huge, Doug.
This very well could be the case. If she's left undetected, she could cause serious problems. There she is. She's good for one. No. Tags him up a little bit. Not able to land the shot. There she is. Gets one. Dinks the second, but Theo responds with two of her own. Kara's going to trade one out as well, as the spike is still not down yet. They have to get onto it, but it doesn't matter, as Dig's just able to clean up the push in from JB to take the pistol.
I thought that second shot hit. She looked good for it, but a little too late on the lurk, or her teammates in A main came out just a little bit too early. Either way, it fell through. The kills didn't come through, and Dignitas, a solid hold.
Solid hold indeed, but I like some of what we saw already, right? We talked about Dig's discipline. We saw JB trying to play different areas of the map and stick to that flank that Slays was trying to push through. But this time, Potter, it's a heavy stack towards B. They don't force anything up. It's just classics across the board into the Spectres of Dig. This is going to be a difficult thing to push through, especially when you're sitting on a nade like that. Holy cow, what a way to start this bad boy off.
Hey, Stephanie already has her ultimatum right there, ready for the ready, and you saw Sholiana showing exactly how proud she is of her teammate there. But man, that's just a mowdown. I am surprised that JB didn't at least try to go for the orb. They really wanted to brute force their way into it, maybe get a plant off to get that money, but Dignitas were just so ready for it, and that's what makes Raze so dangerous on Ascent right now. Not only the fact that you can use just the one satchel to break the Killjoy and ruin the entire game plan, but just that splash damage coming through strong.
Yeah, it was like it was unfortunate to kind of watch happen, right? Like through the smoke, they were just sitting in it and they just got picked apart. But now, if you're a fan of JB, there's good news for you. They've got rifles across the board. Dig is still going to be riding that sweet bonus train because they didn't drop a single person in the previous round. You mentioned Stephanie has that showstopper in tow, but this is a very similar look to what we saw in round one, with the exception of the alarm bot on mid.
Yeah, both Sovas right now just trading out those drones. You can see Milky Way, she's trying to bait out at least a Killjoy util, but here we go. Stephanie already making her way through, and JB, they're just tucked around the corner, and Stephanie almost makes it away, but that's huge. Kara absolutely needed to punish Stephanie for that aggressive play there. Yeah.
Oh, Thea was on the flank as well, giving back a little bit of what Slays was giving them earlier in the round, and they've locked down the middle of the map. Kara's good to trade one back, though, as the spike's going to rotate towards A, and it's an open sight. Potter, they've drawn all of the attention of Dig towards the middle of the map. That's going to leave A entirely unattended to.
But Slays, she's in such a good spot, and Thea has no idea. That's a freebie for her. Emily gets the door shut on her. Only 8 bullets, but that's a nice shot. A gush onto Astra if she's able to get that kill, but nah. Kara, she's just too quick, man.
Too quick indeed, and you called it, right? Slays holding the middle of the map there stopped them from being able to rotate back towards A. The site that we mentioned was left open, so it was an excellent adaptation by JB. Very well played, and as you said, Emily was in a spot to do something, right? To make some magic happen. Wasn't able to do it, but again, that was Dig's bonus, right? Now they've got full rifles, they've got armor across the board. They're sitting pretty here.
Yeah, and I did like the fact of how mobile Dig were willing to be, especially because they knew their weaponry. They needed to get into the faces of JB to capitalize off that Spectre. And you saw those kinds of movements, but JB, they handled it well, man. Handled it well. And again, We've just slowed things down once more. Just Breathe. They're just trying to default it out. I think for Just Breathe right now, their main goal is to find wherever Thea is to bait out the KJ util earlier than later.
Right. And as you see, you mentioned Thea and her util. You've noticed every single round, Thea's played a different spot, right? Like first round, she was over on A, and it was a full util stack there. Now we've sprinkled in the alarm bot across mid a couple of times. Love seeing that combo of the hot hands and the Asher util on the orb. But now Thea's stacked up on B. They do have a couple of players pushing into that way. But again, for Dig, it's been a lot of discipline, Potter. It's been really impressive to me from Dignitas.
Yeah, definitely. And you know, Dignitas, that's what they were known for in CSGO, was the fact of how much prep and how much server time that they put in prior to these matches. So definitely that sort of team culture is going to transition greatly for these ladies. And you're absolutely seeing that. Strong game plan, strong crosshairs, or crossfires rather. But, oh man, Emily's already starting things off.
So Thea's on backside, and she's by herself. The rest of Dignitas is still rotating over, so Thea had to try to hold fast there, but she gets cleaned up at the hands of Milky. That's going to give JB the site with 13 seconds left. They're going to get the spike down, and now Dig is going to be fighting for the retake. They've managed to take from defender spawn in the middle of the map, so they should have a good spot here, and yeah, they just waltz right in, Potter. Entirely uncontested. That looked easy.
It was a little easy. You know, Kara, she was just so low. Not a lot that she could do there. Really, it was all onto Milky Way. And you saw that. She went towards that stairs, tried to even things up, at least make it a 2v2 to make it feel doable, at least somewhat. But unfortunately, just gets the 1-2. And Emily, she's starting to heat up here, Doug.
Is heating up indeed. Dig up 2 rounds here as we near round 5. Got a couple of ultimates on the side of Dig. The run it back in the hands of Emily, and then we've also got the lockdown for Thea. And again, a little bit of swat, a little bit of change up in util. No longer a heavy investment of utility on B. This time she's actually placing it in tree, which is the third or fourth different look that we've seen so far.
Fantastic, fantastic game plan from Dig. And Stephanie's doing so much work. We saw the ace with the util and all that splash damage from the paint shells, and right now with the boom bot, she's just, look at this, Just Breathe. They can't even get near the B main area.
Now you'll see 4 of the 5 players on the side of Just Breathe have pistols, but Slays is rocking a rifle. Oh, hang on, hold that thought. Because Emlo is in a great spot, but Stephanie's pushing through the flank. Stephanie good for 1. Emlo has to swing. No, the timing window is passed. Absolutely.
Oh, they are going to bite. That's unfortunate. But Emily, she's under a lot of pressure now towards this A. Great shock dart, a bob and weave, and at the moment, I mean, with the weaponry, Just Breathe, they're just not able to get past it. But man, that B trade, we got to talk about that a little bit later. Oh.
What we won't do is talk about that flash.
Talk about that.
Here in a minute. As Emily is still kind of keeping them back, you see the clock start to tick down. They don't have very many options, and as you mentioned, they didn't have ideal weaponry. Right, so you find yourself in a spot where you don't have a ton of time, you don't have a ton of firepower, not many options on the map, and now Emlo's left alone with the Sheriff and 21 health. It's a tough situation to be in. A flawless round, Secret Lab flawless at that, as Dig continue to chug away.
Oof. You know, the beginning of this round for Just Breathe, it was perfect. They set up that trap. They knew that Stephanie would probably come sniffing, you know, a confident player who just got an ace, and again, who's just dominating her part of the map. You can safely assume, hey, this player's probably going to come, maybe overstep their bounds a little bit, and you saw that that was exactly what Just Breathe setup was intended for, but maybe a little bit of miscomm, maybe a little bit of mistiming, but unfortunately the trade doesn't come through. Dignitas' A hold is strong, and here we are, another default coming through here, probably for Just Breathe. Or I say that, but everyone is towards A main.
And they've got a couple of key ultimates in mind. Natty just got the Showstopper. Slay's brought in the Hunter's Fury, and then Kara has the Cosmic Divide as well, so they may be able to set something up here. If Slays could have gotten a tag there, they maybe had a chance, but those 2 early picks already on the side of Dig just leave JB in a brutal spot where they're down numbers already.
Yeah, and I think those were just 2 kills through the smoke. I'm not sure that Dignitas even saw a single human there, but Milky Way, you can see at the moment, these ladies just need to try to buy back whatever map control that they can. Slays coming towards this B tunnel area, and that's where all of Thea's utility is still set up. A lot of sound though. Oh, these ladies are not gonna stop right now. They're going in.
Full send, but again, you're walking right into Thea's lap, and if it's not Thea, it's the utility that's going to keep them at bay. Furthermore, you've got Sholiana, who's worked her way across the middle of the map, spotted where Kara is as well. This is just so difficult to get in through, and Potter, like you said, it was those early picks across the middle of them, across towards A, excuse me, that kind of set things in a pretty bad spot. And we highlighted the ultimates that they had initially at the beginning of the round. It looked like they were setting up for something. If Slays could have maybe gotten a pick with the drone, maybe you bust out the Hunter's Fury and the Cosmic Divide to section off the site. But those early picks really set everything awry.
Yeah, and it's got to be pretty deflating as well, especially if they just got spammed. Maybe there was a sound cue, something, but just breathe. Another scrappy buy coming through for them.
Oh boy.
It's happening, Doug.
It's happening, indeed. Not going to tag up anyone quite yet. But now at least they know Sholiana's there. That's not a safe place to go unless you want to get, turned into Swiss cheese.
Swiss cheese, indeed. And this is the right adjustment. They are going towards this cat area to try to poke once again. But that alarm bot in mid, Doug, that's, I think, Just Breathe's crux at the moment. They got to get rid of that to deny Dignitas at least some of that intel, because right now they know exactly where these Just Breathe ladies are.
Now, the one thing I want to keep an eye on is for Emlo, a win here is getting a kill, right? Like getting something to get the lockdown online, so you've got 4 going into the next round, and you can maybe stop some of this bleeding, because it's been pretty oppressive out of Dig so far. You heard the run it back was used. Didn't net a ton, but Sholiana locking down the middle of the map. There's just nothing that's safe here, Potter.
Yeah, nothing at all.
Alarm bot down.
Oh, there's the alarm bot going down, and Emily, this is some timing. Slays, that's huge.
That's
Look
big.
at the
She
rotations
managed to
coming
pick
on the
up
minimap.
Oh no, but that was so big. Slays needed to get that kill because, as you said, they were starting to pull back towards A, but the inability to convert that into a kill makes this much more treacherous ground for them to navigate, and Rain's already locking it down with 10 seconds left. They don't have options. They've got to commit to A. The door's going to go down. Emlo manages to get the spike down. Rain was up in heaven, gets ripped right down. There's the showstopper. They are trying to... Fancy footwork keeps her alive, but the spike continues to tick down. Emlo with the Sheriff. Alone in a 1v2. Now Thea's weak, so she's certainly got a chance at this.
Oh, 2 bullets. Emlo, oh. Everything was so close about this round, Doug. Just one small detail changed, and we could be looking at Just Breathe putting their second round on the board. The fact that Natty's showstopper only did damage instead of finishing the kill, that was just everything for Dignitas. A nice little bob and weave coming through to dodge that.
Yeah, that was just so key. I think that kill right there could have made a significant difference as well. You were talking about this round really being played on a razor's edge. That going the other way gives them more control on A so JB can work. And remember, that was it. That was a pistol for them, right? Like, Slays picked up a rifle, but that's all it was. Now they're going to have 3 ultimates online going into this round. And much like we saw 2 rounds ago, it looks like they lean towards A when they have a heavy ultimate presence.
Yeah, these ladies, they have to win this A main fight, though. And the ult, it's coming out really early. Dignitas, they're already got this A retake setup. They've got the KJ ult. They've got the Sova ult. They're okay giving up this A site. And you can see on the minimap already, top mid, this flank, it's already in motion, Doug.
Oh, Emily, it's there. Thea is there as well. The flash to clear the way is going to tag one, gets the kill. The turret drops as well, but now they know that the presence is coming in. Just Breathe is suffocated right now on A. Stephanie with the showstopper, good for one, gets ripped down from the skies at the hands of Slays. As Slays tries to stay alive, still has that Hunter's Fury. She has to get to a safe spot so that can be the equalizer, but no, she drops. Kara's left alone in a 1v3. She gets cleaned up as well. Did get another round.
Beautiful, beautiful thing. Movements, mobility, Dignitas moving around on the map. They know exactly what their win conditions in this round were. They didn't even need to use the Killjoy ult. They still got Hunter's Fury up as well. This is Dignitas completely controlling the map, controlling the pace, and even though it looked like Just Breathe were able to get into the site, that's because Dignitas allowed them to get into the site. So Dig are playing this round and this map very well at the moment.
Very well indeed, as it looks like there's a pause online. We'll find out what's going on, presume attack pause, but as soon as we get information, we'll convey that to you folks at home. As you can see on the timeline, the timeline really accurately tells what's been going on here for the last 8 rounds. You know, sometimes it doesn't tell the whole story, but in this instance, it has been all Dig, with the exception of round 3, and it's been a very impressive performance. So you mentioned, Potter, that last round just kind of punctuating the preparation that Dig has put in, how comfortable they are playing on retakes. It seems like even when Just Breathe kind of get a footing, it's only because Dig gives it to them.
Yeah, exactly. And it's that lack of information coming out from Just Breathe and the overload of information coming out from Dig. If the ladies of Just Breathe are towards A main, then you know Dignitas are going to push towards out of that B or come poking around towards that mid. And even by the time the site hit comes, it's just already that choking effect is happening. The pinch, it's already in motion.
All right, back online here. Again, we're seeing a pretty similar look. Defaulty presence towards A, a little bit towards B from Just Breathe. And Slays is still hanging on to that Hunter's Fury. And folks, we've talked about that ultimate as much as we have because it's such an influential ultimate, right? Like, it can change so much of the map. It can change so much of a round. You see that tap from the orb there out of Kara. That was waiting for that hot hands, waiting for the combination of util there to fend that off, but they play it beautifully.
Oh, such good damage as well. And yeah, Just Breathe. They can't win the A main fight. They barely just took the B main fight, so Emily, she's got such a good flank going on. As soon as Slays makes any noise, breaks the spot, Emily's gonna be right there ready to flank.
Dig, once again, with a little bit of presence across the middle of the map, and just like that, a curveball and an aggressive jump down from Emily. It is all that they need to take the space, but Slays punishes that aggression by trading it out. For now, the middle of the map is still Just Breathe.
Huh. This is something for Just Breathe. All of a sudden, things are 3v3, and again, Slays. A lot of util. But show Liana with the Odin. Just a lowdown on the way.
No way. And Kara used the Cosmic Divide too to set things up. We're finally seeing JB utilize some of those ultimates to get something going, right? To create some space and lean into those advantages that they should presumably have. But I mean, Cosmic Divide or not, it doesn't matter when you've got Sholiana mowing you down like that.
Yeah, and it's just so unfortunate for Natty as well. You saw that she kind of beat the flash timing there, knew that A main re-aggression was probably on the way, but unfortunately, just those small details once again coming through. But Dignitas, they are on a roll right now, and once this snowball starts happening in Valorant, man, it gets really tough to stop.
I mean, it's especially on Ascent, you see, for Just Breathe, very similar to the last time we saw him on a broken pistol like this. Emlul is holding just outside of B as they push in across the middle of the map. They're trying to work their way into tree. A great Lear to buy some space for Milky Way to get a kill. There was that whole W that you mentioned, but Rain cleans it right back up.
That is a great entry for Milky Way, though, and it's just... Things could. Dominoes here, Doug. They've got the site. This should be a post plant. Natty, pretty healthy, picks up a gun. And 3v3, this is all of a sudden doable.
Yeah, but again, so two of them have upgraded weapons. Kara's the weakest one with only 10 health, but you've got that Hunter's Fury, and you're playing on site. You can't utilize that as an effective post-plant, like denying defuse there. Plus, Staya's going to use... All right, here we go. There's that lockdown that comes through. Slay's looking to clear it out.
Oh, boy.
No way. It's going to go off? It didn't get cleaned up. Yeah, Natty's stuck. She had nowhere to go as well. Oh, that's brutal.
That one hurts, Doug. That one hurts. Ooh, these ladies of Just Breathe really needed to kind of get into more optimal post-plant scenarios. They just were all throttled towards that gen area, and to use the Hunter's Fury in that position is probably just not the most optimal way to use it. I think maybe pushing together towards door, breaking the door together, getting the trades, that probably might have worked out a little bit better. But either way, right now, Dignitas, they are controlling everything, Doug.
Yeah, man, that's just so disheartening to have that, to, you know, feel like you had a chance at that round and then for it to end the way that it did. For Just Breathe, it's going to have to be a whole lot of bend but don't break, right? How much adversity can you face? How much can you kind of take and get slapped around and still be able to continue to fight? A similar defaulty look from Just Breathe on the attacking side. Thea still playing, gosh, what's that game with the musical chairs? Musical chairs, thank you. Playing musical chairs with the Killjoy utility, and there's just really no entrance, Potter. There's nowhere that's easy to get through here.
Yeah, but you know, Just Breathe. They've kept 3 defenders towards this A right now, and you can see Killjoy, Emlo, she's trying to get some ground, but Stephanie's just been such a beast over here. The paint shell timing again should get a lot of damage, and this Odin is such a nuisance to deal with.
Yeah, you see Emlo got tagged all the way down to 52 health, 43 seconds left in the round. Right now they're postured towards B. And much like has been the case the last few rounds, when you play this late into it, you don't have options. You've got to commit to it whether or not it's the perfect look, and that's what they have to do here.
Yeah, Stephanie's got a lot to do. Whoa, the timing, that's not going to work out for her. This, all of a sudden, Just Breathe. They've got the sight down.
Sholiana looking to see if she can tag anyone up. The spam's not going to clean anything up quite yet, but you've got the Cosmic Divide. There it is. That's going to force them off back into back boathouse, so they should have some room to work with. Dig going in aggressively, good for one. The flash was there. Looked for the second, not able to get it. Slays looking to stand alone. No, Slays gets cleaned up in that 1v2. The defuse is going to come through, and much like has been the case, JB find a window. They get into the site, and it looks promising, and Dig slams the thing in their faces.
Oh, Just Breathe. They're getting into these post plants now towards the end of this half, but they're all stuck in sight. You saw it once again, all 4 members in the site of B, and I think probably a part of it is that they didn't expect to have so many players alive at the end of this. They really needed to lean into trading and coming into the site together, but by the time they got into sight, all 4 were alive and well, and that's just too many bodies in the site at once.
Way too many indeed. Rifles for JB. And you've got Natty with light armor, but keep in mind, both Kara and Natty are 1 point away from having their ultimates online, so you presume they're going to play around this ultimate orb outside of A. All right, never mind. Forget it. They're just full sending. Forget the orb. Forget any sort of anything. They're going fast. They get onto the site. Kara gets the spike down.
They're in there. They're tired of these shenanigans, Doug. Once again, they are in these post-plant scenarios, and this time at least Slays, you see her, she's towards A main. This should help things out, but again, 4 members in the site. A lot of headshots are going to have to go Just Breathe's way here.
Oh, Emily was there with the run it back to try to create some space so they can push him from heaven, and Rain guts through. Stephanie's looking for a bit more. She blasts down Underhell, not able to connect anything, but the Hot Hands does. Dig cleans it up. It was dicey. It was scary there for a minute, but at the end of the day, it's just another round for Dig.
Switching sides.
Oh, feels bad. Milky Way's trying to make some big plays with that dismiss, but a little collision, a little body blockage going on there towards the A main, and just falls apart. This is beautiful stuff from Stephanie. Just dominant performance coming out from her.
And really, Potter, what an omen, if you will, to the half, right? Like, to start it off like that, and then to look at how the rest of the half played out, for Dignitas. It was a complete performance from top to bottom. You saw them apply pressure across areas of the map at the exact right times. They leveraged their ultimates well. They were not passive in their play. They changed pace at different times. Now we'll see what they can do on the attack, but an excellent start from Dig on Ascent.
Very excellent, and this is going to be fast-paced. Stephanie, she's got the frenzy, the boombots leading the charge, leading the way, and here comes the bang.
Oh boy.
So blind.
There's one
the
more.
player on the left. That could have been huge, but Stephanie, she's good for it, Doug. We've seen it before, and that's the site free. That's Digs all day long. Post plant coming through, and Just Breathe, Milky Way. These ladies, the rotations are on the way, but man, they've only got a couple of smokes, and a grenade to work with here.
Yeah, they ain't got much. See if they can exploit the middle of the map. I think Rain has to go big here. A retake is so much more effective when you can apply pressure from different areas in. So if they take the middle of the map, then they can push them from defender spawn and make something happen. Rain gets cleaned up, but not without Natty following as well, leaving things into 3v2 in favor of Dig. The spike continues to tick away. Sholiana's in an excellent spot where even if they manage to lose the map, Sholiana should be able to clean things up, and there she is just at the right time. A 3K on the pistol. Dig at map point.
Match point. Woo, this is a statement, Doug, to start off your series this hot. Oh man, Just Breathe being a brand newer team, we're really gonna have to start looking at things one round at a time to be able to bounce back from this, because man, Dignitas are they're bullying them a little bit in the server here, Doug.
I mean, they're cooking, man. Like, they're cooking all the way. Now, you see here for Just Breathe, because they're on map point, they have to force, right? So they're going to bring the judge in the hands of Natty. Expect a little blast pack in your face, a little bam-bam, try to make something happen. But for now, the thing, Potter, that's tough for Just Breathe is that they've tried different looks, but it hasn't worked at all. Now they're going to try to work the middle of the map. Slaves is in a great spot, cleans up the Roomba as well. Now they know that they forced up.
Oof.
And so far, so good.
So far, so good, but the trades happen so fast, and Thea, she's got full control. She knows B's clear. She's bringing her teammates over towards mauling spawn to buy even more time to ensure that the site will be clear. And here we go, Dig. They are low here, but things are looking pretty solid for them.
I think Rain's in a great spot, right? Being able to hold that area of the map. They have to deal aggressively with Rain there. They can't leave her unchecked. That's what Milky Way tries to do. She gets cleaned up, and Rain's just buying time, right? She's just being a nuisance. Look at the minimap. They're running after her without taking care of the spike because they have to. Now Rain goes in aggressive. The judge is not a factor. A 4K for Rain and a 13-1 win for Dignitas.
Clinical, and you know, we have to harp on that again. Everything you said was right, Doug. Rain, she knows in that moment she doesn't have to headshot and make it look insane to win the round. She just needs to buy a little bit of time and just back up a little bit off that B main. Beautiful stuff. Dignitas, it seemed like they knew all of their win conditions at every point, at every round.
That's right. I'm not supposed to be here. It's fine. We're winning. Dignitas is winning. We're all gonna win. Don't worry. That's not over for our matchup here. We've got 2 more maps potentially underway. Guys, we're gonna talk more about this game right after this break. Don't go anywhere. water back. See, that was harmless. And hopefully you guys are well hydrated, as I keep saying, because it is very important for your health. And with that, Valorant is also important for your health. You should be playing it a lot. And we are here with the Verizon VCT Game Changers presented by Dignitas with tons of amazing women's competitive gameplay. I'm stoked. These guys are stoked. We just saw a Dignitas versus Just Breathe map 1 go down. So guys, we're going to talk about this. But first of all, we got to talk about Sholiana and her Odin. Gosh darn it. First of all, this is a sick replay. And that Odin, though, Potter, how do you counter that?
Oh, there's not too much you can do in the moment. It does feel very restricting, but a couple of different clever things you could do is kind of bait. You want to go in double pumps, right? You want to go take over that B main control first, maybe bait that Odin. As soon as it fires, throw a recon bolt into the site and start that Sova Hunter's Fury. Bait him right into it. That could be a key. Or push him back off that mid. As long as that Killjoy alarm bot goes off and you cut noise and you don't allow Dignitas to know exactly where you are on the map, then the Sovas will generally be a little bit more, I don't want to say scared, but we'll take a second guess before they just start spamming away towards that B main. So definitely a mid pressure has to be there, and the idea that the other Sova will punish you if you just start freely spamming has to be there.
Well, we're seeing how that went down for Dignitas. Stellar performance by them. 1 round only for on the side of Just Breathe. We're getting a little peek on the performance here by either side. I'm gonna be honest, chat, this is not the Just Breathe I'm used to seeing. I know they've got more than this, so maybe they were just feeling a scent at this moment. Hopefully they'll turn it up on their map pick, Breeze. Ooh, it's going to get spicy.
It is indeed. I'm really excited to see how they play out on Breeze. One thing that we pointed out in the cast, Lucy, that I think we need to see differently from Just Breathe, is the pace at which they played their rounds. I think there were times where we saw at the beginning, like they played defaulty, sometimes they dial up a little bit of aggression, but oftentimes, to go back to the Odin conversation, oftentimes they found themselves in spots where there were 15, maybe 30 seconds left on a round. They still had a good bit of utility, but they were all on one side of the map. And then they were calling their play. Then they were hitting their set pieces. And those executes, while they can be fine at times to catch people off guard, when the other team is not biting on your baits, when the other team is not playing into the conditioning that you're trying to manipulate the map with, you're just kind of stuck, right? And we saw that happen to Just Breathe a couple of times where they waited until the last second to play a card, and Dig just wasn't phased, right? They knew what was coming. They knew when and where it was coming from, too. It was almost too easy for them to read.
Yeah, you said it right there. And I don't know. Like I said, maybe we're going to turn this around. But everyone, that was Ascent, map number 1 underway, or already finished, excuse me. Let's take a look at what the map pool has in store for us. What's next? What could potentially be our map number 3? If you're just joining us, this is what is going to be happening. So, like I said, Ascent, that's gone. Over to Dignitas. We're going to be going over to Breeze, where Dig is going to start on attack. And we've been seeing just how dominant the attacking side is for Breeze. So, hopefully, Just Breathe has some things under their belts. And then if we need to, we're going to go to a split decider. All right. I don't know. What does, do you think, again, I'm going to default to Potter again on this because of being a competitive player. Are you, in your head, having just lost 13-1, how's your mental right now in this, you think, with these guys, with these gals?
I think the mental should be good. If I know one thing about Milk is that she's a fantastic teammate and she's always vibing, right? She's a great hype man. She's a great wingman, I think. So I think for these ladies, especially being a newer squad in comparison to Dig, who has years and years of winning championships literally under their belt, I think these Just Breathe ladies, they'll be able to shake that one off. They'll be able to say, you know what? Yeah, we got destroyed. And I always say a 13-1, when the scoreline is that lopsided, it's always easier to get over these kinds of RNG getting destroyed matches rather than like a 13-11, 13-10, those matches where you feel like, oh, we should have completely won that. So I think for these ladies, they should be able to get over this pretty easily.
I like that. And you had touched a little bit on Milky, and I just want to say that I saw the interview by Radiant. That's over there, youtube.com/Radiant, I believe, or Radiant GG, excuse me. So definitely check that out. There was an interview with the gals there, and Natty had mentioned that about Milky Way. Just as you said, Potter, Milky Way having that strong mind to be able to bring the team, keep them up, keep them going. So we're going to be seeing that heading into map number 2, which is Breeze. And you had mentioned that as well, Potter, earlier, how it's kind of like this could be anyone's game. No wrong way to play this. But see which one is going to be coming out dominant. Who do we see earlier that played it? Shopify, I believe, that played on this map, and they chose it and they crushed it. So let's see how these gals fare in this. So with that, and we're learning what are the agent composition is going to be looking like with Breeze as we see more competitive matchups on this map. So let's take a look. Let's head over to the SIG agent selects, guys.
Thank you, Lucy. And yeah, you know, one other thing worth mentioning is when we talk about this caliber of play, Potter, we're talking about some of the best to do it, right? Like, they have found themselves in situations like this. You alluded to the pedigree that comes with being able to deal with adversity and respond and really just kind of like water off the back, if you will. We even saw a player have a less than ideal performance earlier in the day and then come back and pop off on this map, really on map 2. So I certainly don't think they're out quite yet. I love that we're seeing a Viper in the hands of Natty. I think Viper is almost, Potter, I'd love your thoughts. I think Viper's almost a must pick on Breeze. What do you think?
Yeah, I would have to agree with you there. Her wall is just, it's so strong on this map, whether you put it down towards A. I think the biggest argument isn't whether Viper should be played on Breeze, but what site you want to put her on mainly. I mean, I think it's just a given right now at this point that Viper has to be on it. Right now, even with my team, we're discussing, you know, that Viper wall towards A. It blocks off the entirety of A main. Then it even goes towards that sewer, well, we call it Among Us, but into that Among Us area and even leaks down towards that mid double doors. So the fact that you're able to get so much utility across so much of the map, it's just too OP right now.
Yeah, it is. And I think even Viper, we've seen a couple of crazy lineups come out from her as well. We do have some of the same thing with Sholiana on the Sova, and there's going to be some hot hands as well. So, Dig starting off on the attack. You already see the Viper's wall gone up out of, Natty. Thank you. Goodness. Out of Natty, crossing off the middle of the map, but it looks like they're leaning towards A, and they're walking right into aggression, Potter.
Yeah, just a 3-man push coming out for A main. Sholiana, some beautiful shots coming out from her, and even able to tuck. And oh man, Mluo, too many targets to choose from. That's the A bomb site gone just like that.
I mean, for all intents and purposes, potentially the round, Potter, right? Like, they're able to get in so effortlessly off the backs of Sholiana with that filthy 2K to get in with the Ghost and give them room to work with. Now, they do still have some presence, right? Like, but it's just going to be so difficult to get onto the site. Now they're starting to come in. They're getting smoked off. Stephanie's already playing contact to spotted one. Thea not able to land the shots quite yet, but the spike continues to tick away. The heal is there as well. There's just no real way into this. There are too many people on the side of Dig that are still up for Just Breathe to deal with, and they lose the pistol.
Oof. That was good stuff coming out from Dig. A little too easy, I gotta say, too, at the end. I mean, hardly any damage even being taken. Sholiana, some great shots to begin with, but I'm not sure why this bird didn't get popped. I think if that blinded sound cue came out for the ladies of Just Breathe, they would have had that information for themselves. They would have understood that was definitely an area of the map that they should keep their crosshairs on, but unfortunately, the bird, something funky happened, and that's Dignitas just dominating once again on a pistol.
Ooh, aggressive look again. And Thea knows where she is. The paranoia is there. It lands, and the shots clean up onto Milky Way as well. They've made their intentions clear. They want to go back towards A. And folks, JB does not have much as far as weaponry. Again, they're just riding pistols. There's not a whole lot to it. Now, keep in mind, Kara's on a dirty flank. And if Natty can buy enough time, there may be something going on. Reigns gets caught at a bad time. Just flashed up. Kara has to back up. Gets cleaned up at the hands of Thea as well. And that's just going to leave things in the hands of Natty. Has a Spectre. Good for one. Trying to land the second. No, nothing doing quite yet. And Stephanie's on the flank. No. Oh, Stephanie cleans it up. Man, I was real worried for a second.
There was a world, Doug. There was definitely a world, but man, Dignitas, they are feeling good right now, Doug. When you see a player just W through, start spamming the walls, the spidey senses. They're tingling. Thea, she knows exactly where the defenders should be, what choke points, where she wants to actually contest. And man, just beaming through the walls there. And again, Dig, this is scary stuff, Doug. When the momentum is swinging this hard and the players are beaming with this much confidence, it just becomes so much. It's that confidence buff, right? It's hard to break.
So much of this game is predicated on how good you feel in that moment, right? Like if you're feeling it, you're going to take those challenges, you're going to take those fights, and you're going to do so with confidence, and you're going to win them more often than not. But this time for Dignitas, they're looking much more towards B, and you see some of that Viper util that we talked about at the beginning. Such an important pick, such a necessary pick here in mind. Now Dig is going to go ahead and use the Seekers to try to clear some space, but Natty right past the cabbage. Lands one onto Stephanie, stays alive as well, not able to do so for long though as Rain cleans her up. The spike is on the site, and here's the thing about this map. It's so big that you have to be playing around those flanks that frequently, right? Like, you have to pay attention to those and take a look at the minimap. Look at how Just Breathe is wrapping around them from 3 different areas. Thea has to go big here as they adjust on the other side of the wall. I don't think she knows. How does she know she's going to spot her? Slays, good for it. Yeah, that's just going to give him so much more room to work with. Again, fighting a retake from so many different angles is so difficult. But Emily, good for it. Yep, Emily's good for one. Spots the second one as well. Lands one on the third. Now they know exactly where Slays is. Emily Slays in a 1v1. Spike continuing to tick away. Slays has to move fast. Slays gets the kill. The 3K should get the defuse as well. Just Breathes on the board.
There we go, Doug. There we go. And, you know, we talked about how big this map was, but that's exactly why we keep mentioning it, is the fact that anytime an exec happens, if you W forward towards whatever position you're at, there's just so many different angles that Dignitas have to look at that the flank is just completely open. Slays, absolutely huge frag, stepping up. And that's exactly what Just Breathe needed, is actual breathing room, because from the first map over to this one, it's just been non-stop. And the fact that they're able to put a round on the board so early on into this map, it could mean, hopefully, big things for Just Breathe coming up.
You've got an interesting buy coming out from Dig. Sholiana on the Bulldog. Emily still on the Spectre, and then Rain is as well. Now, Sholiana's one point away from having the Hunter's Fury online, while Slays has the Seekers just hold it online. I like this aggression out of Thea. You mentioned, Potter, they just go, right? Like, they do not change the pace at which they play, and we're seeing Thea, I mean, played exactly that right now, and she's going to get 50 on Emily. Oh, Thea wins the gun duel.
Such a big play coming out from Thea. The blind into the TP, but this timing, Milky Way, just a Spectre to her name, and the Phantom, it wins that one out, Doug.
Does indeed. Dig still trying to test their mettle towards B, but the thing is, you've got Choli on the opposite side of the map, knows that A is entirely open, even hits the dart on the backside to make sure nobody's rotating in from defender spawn, so they are going to get onto A for free, really. And it's going to be on Kara and Natty with Spectres, which for Kara, that seems to be everything she needed to make this happen. And they've got the res onto Milky Way. This just got interesting.
Yeah, it definitely did. Sholiana's got to go down here, though. She's in such a forward position. All the sound cues. This info, the fact that she doesn't hear anything will be information in and of itself. All 3 members coming through the doors, and this is just going to be a shooting gallery.
Sholiana's in a great spot. She doesn't have any armor, but they're going to have to challenge her because she's got the Hunter's Fury. Kara looking for the challenge, and Sholiana wins that one. A 3K on the round for her. That just leaves Natty alone in a 1v3 in the smoke, trying to get the defuse. The shock darts fly through, the bullets fly through as well. And yeah, for Sholiana, unfortunately, you get the Hunter's Fury out, but you get the round win for Dig.
That is something, though, I gotta say.
Yes.
The fact that the Hunter's Fury went out there, that could prove to mean something, but you're right. It's hard to take that small of a victory away and be happy about it. Man, this is Sholiana being Legolas in these Among Us halls here. Just shock darting and controlling everything.
She was in such a great spot. Wish we had more time to break that down, but Dig aggressive towards A again. You see the flash coming out, a light buy on the side of Just Breathe. A Marshall in the hands of Slays.
Clip time, Doug. The Marshall. It's perfect time for Slays to make a movie for herself. That was so close.
Heard that one buzz on by, but Slays gets cleaned up at the hands of Sholiana. Emilo with the classic is going to drop as well as they swarm onto the site. And you see they have the presence, right? The presence of mind to understand, again, that there is going to be a flank. And that's exactly what Dig are ready for. Sholiana gets one on the flank. Rain cleans up the site. Stephanie's trying to take care of the remaining member. A flawless round, courtesy of Secret Labs for Dig. A 4-1 lead for them as well.
Oh, Dignitas just making plays across the entire map right now. JB, they're having a hard time holding down the B. They're having a hard time holding down the halls or the A site or middle. It's just the entire map right now, Doug. It is in Dignitas's control.
Yeah, now I will say this. They've got the Viper's Pit here early on. So we'll see how Natty decides to play this, but oftentimes she'll just drop it right off the bat and essentially make that site a non-factor. And there it is. Uses it instantly, makes it to where B is essentially not an option, but you see the Cosmic Divide is coming out as it looks like they want to go towards B.
Oh, that's valuable information, though.
And you see, Potter, Natty started to rotate, but has to go back because she has to respect what may be coming around the corner. Kara with a big kill onto Thea.
That was huge. That's actually going to make this retake possible. 4v3, Milky Way already very forward here. Oh, but Stephanie, what a great peek. Still has a bird. The Skies are just trading utility back and forth right now, but there it is. JB, they've got the site.
Oh boy. Oh boy, they know where she's coming. She's got the ult. She's just a sitting duck. JB take the site back. They get the defuse and they get to 2.
Beautiful stuff. I mean, I think Kara getting that pick in Among Us onto Thea because Thea had such good timing once again on that Omen lurk. And if Kara falls there, man, that is Just Breathe completely losing that round guaranteed. So the fact that she's able to make that kill and make it so clean, that's definitely going to mean a lot for her moving forward into this map.
Yes, indeed. And then as you mentioned, the Cosmic Divide falling from Rain open things up. Now we're going to see for Just Breathe certainly more of like an open free look. They try to push up elbow. Kara is waiting with open arms. She's going to get traded out at the hands of Sholiana, but the spike hasn't left. Potter, so you see like their intentions are, let's see what area of the map we can exploit, and then we'll make the hit.
Yeah, exactly. Poke and prod, you're absolutely right, Doug. They know they've got control right now, so it's definitely up to Just Breathe to make plays, and Kara was almost good for it. 1.5 kills there, 19 HP left on Thea, and that sort of damage information, it should be being communicated across to the squad, and right now it's all going to be up to Natty. Solo on an island defending this B site. The dart is on the way, and she's able to buy some time with these poisons though, but she's just used all of them up.
Thea has the no, they're just walking dry. Well, they just swing right out of the Viper's Pit smoke and they just get mowed down. Natty's already got 3 on the round. Sholiana's left alone. She wasn't nearly as close as she was trying to use her util to clear up the site. And this has gone absolutely sideways for Dig as JB maintained control. And excuse me, yes, it's Just Breathe, but for all intents and purposes, it was Natty that stopped them by herself. Now Sholiana in a 1v3 to try to make some magic happen. Somehow manages to get through the smoke. No way. All right, she's going to get cleaned up here. All right, Milky Way cleans that up. An excellent round from JB, an excellent round from Natty, and already a much closer map than we saw on Ascent.
Absolutely, and you know, there's your answer. There's exactly why Viper is so needed on this map. The fact that she can just buy time with her poisons, use her Q orb to just cut off that entire choke point, and even with 21 HP, make a defense, make that anchor of that B site look doable. It's a huge round for Natty. And Just Breathe, once again, a lot of breathing room coming into this.
And I mean, really, it's easy when they're walking into your crosshairs out of a smoke. just like that. MLO's got an op this time around as well. So they've got full rifles. We're going to see what MLO can do with that bad boy. Meanwhile, on the side of Dig, a pause has come through. They've got some money, right? Like, they can allocate resources around and maybe make something happen, but this should be a much lighter buy than they would like coming into this round. Now, Potter, if you're in Dig's shoes, right? Like, JB's cooking. They've got 2 really big rounds. Momentum certainly feels like it's in their favor. How do you, what adjustments do you make? What do you see from Dig that has lacked so far?
Not too much. I think, you know, especially with these ultimates coming into play here, I am glad to see that Dignitas are going to invest into this round a little more than what they originally had. I think the fact that they've got the jellies, they've got the little cabbages, they've got the Hunter's Fury, and this Omen ult. I think Omen ult is a lot stronger on attack than I think a lot of teams utilize it for, but just based on the contact and especially how big this map is, they can do some really clever plays with that Omen TP. So I think Dignitas, they should still be feeling pretty comfortable coming into this round.
Great flash. They're going to have a great idea of where they're coming from.
Nice
the 100 Fury is
shot.
coming out from Sholiana as well. Excellent shot out of MLO, but gets cleaned up. Now, the one thing that's worth mentioning is Natty did not drop her Viper util early on. That means she's saving it for the post-plant situation, for the retake here. So she's going to have that online. We'll see how they opt to bring that into the fold. As you also mentioned, Thea has the From the Shadows she can use to flip the map. But the flash is going to do her just too much. Dig. Emily to a great spot. Emily not able to get the 4th on the round for her. The res is going to come through for Slays as well as Sholiana creeping her way forward. She's going to be in a great spot. Sholiana 1, 2, looking for the 3rd. Thea and Rain should be there to help as well. There's Thea on the help onto Slays. Dig stop the bleeding as they keep up their lead now to 2.
Beautiful stuff coming out from Dig. And, you know, Just Breathe, they hit some fantastic shots coming into this round, almost even making the round doable, even utilizing that Sage res. But Sholiana, you could see she knows exactly how to play this map. She started off towards the A-halls near the orb. And even though she used all her utility over there, had the presence of mind to reflank towards that mid doors. And, hey, that's where all the action was. So definitely good movements coming out here for Dig.
Great moves. You hear the Seeker has been used by Slays right off the bat to clear out the middle of the map. Gonna get some info, but waiting for the peek because MLO's there. Nothing doing quite yet. So they've seen something to push them off of A and lean towards middle and B. A is gonna get absolutely destroyed at the hands of Slays, who's gonna get tagged up as well. But it's a fight for the middle of the map for now.
Yeah, the jig is up. She tried to make that play the last time around, and it worked beautifully. This time, Slays is definitely ready for it. And this is where the great teams will start to show their true colors. Is being down a man, but still somehow utilizing and comboing their util and converting this round. So definitely for Dig, they've got the experience. Emily bringing the troops back towards this A. And it looks like it's just a free site here, Doug. There's not a single soul here.
No, you're right. There's not. Stephanie used the Seekers towards B. And the thing is, JB was already playing retake on A. So as soon as the Seekers came out on B, they pulled off towards B. And that allowed Dig to waltz in. I mean, nobody was home, as you said. It was a free site. They managed to get the spike down. And now they're going to play their post plants. But as we have talked about on this map, you have to watch the flank. You've got to make sure that nobody's coming in behind you. That's why you see Dig playing off as hard as they are. That's why they were able to clean up Slays.
And Sholiana is doing so much work just maintaining the back lines here. It's just not giving Just Breathe a lot of room. Stephanie.
Maybe a mistake.
Uh-oh.
That may be a mistake. Maybe a mistake. MLO is still sticking on the defuse. They pull 2 people off the site to play on the flank, and MLO might be able to get the defuse right out of under their noses. Yes, she robs it from him, Potter. Straight out of under them, and Dig pulled off 2 members from caves to play the middle of the map. Sholiana dropped from the shoot. There was, I'm forgetting who it was. I apologize. Who was also working the middle of the map. That left the site even more open than it was.
Yeah, no, you're right. And man, the post plants without having the Viper on their side of things or a Killjoy to just be able to delay and buy time. Maybe the moves were a little overzealous there, leaving the spike unattended. And Just Breathe. I mean, fantastic stuff for them to be able to capitalize on that in that just short span of a window. And here we go, Natty. B should be on lockdown. She will not let anyone pass here, Doug.
I'm feeling that Monty Python reference. I picked up what you were putting down, and if that was unintentional, just roll with it. Okay, we'll talk later.
Uh-oh.
They all no, not like this. They just gets turned on at the hands of Milky Way. A little ex-teammate love for you.
Good
She
night.
gets the kill.
Emily, she's trying to stiff out to try to at least get some sort of a trade, but this is Just Breathe starting to get some confidence. Emluo, even in a different spot, we saw her trying to updraft up there before and had a little bit of a fail, but at least Sholiana tries to get the trade back.
And for Dig, we saw this a couple of rounds ago, Potter. This is much more of the defaulty poke and prod, like you said, to see what area of the map you can open up and then make a hit. But when you get picked apart this way, right, you don't really have a ton of options. You know B's not on the map because you've got the Viper's Pit and you've got Natty sitting in it, waiting for anyone to swing through. You also drop a couple of members early on, so you're at a disadvantage. You don't have the full area of the map to play. That forces you into a situation where you have to take it less than ideal area. Emily's hot hands there are certainly not great as they tag up Sholiana a bit. Yeah, the wall's going to go up, but...
Oh.
Are they going to get the spike?
Get it
Yeah,
down.
they do. All right, now the hard work starts, right? Because now they have to fend off the 2v3. Emily's good for one. Sholiana's already on 3. Sholiana in a 1v1. Natty down to 16 health. She's got the Hunter's Fury, but she's going to get the ping. She lands the shots. Are you kidding me? Dig do it again. Sholiana good for 4. What a round.
Oh my goodness, Doug. That is not a round that Dignitas were supposed to win at all. We were just talking about Just Breathe, starting to build up their confidence, starting to take some ballsy duels for themselves, but all it was a flame wall. The Phoenix able to get Soba across the time. I believe there was 8 seconds left in the round, and still somehow with barely any HP, Sholiana is able to get the spike down. That one hurts, Doug. That one's gonna sting for quite some time.
Oh, man, how do Just Breathe respond? How do they really react to something like that for Dig? It's, again, a very similar defaulty look. We've seen Natty play with her util a couple of times, or she'll drop it at the beginning of the round, and other times she won't. This time has invested it across the middle of the map, which even with that, Potter, you see Dig comfortable playing into it. Right, you've got Stephanie who's trying to work the middle of the map. Sholiana was postured that way as well, so they have no qualms working that way, even if there's utility in mind. For Just Breathe, they've just got pistols. You're certainly not what you want to work here.
Yeah, and once again, you can see that Just Breathe, they've got most of the bodies towards this B side and middle. And most of Dignitas are starting to group up towards A. That's a huge pickup from Stephanie. But Milky with the frenzy play, there it is.
Oh, the weapon upgrade. Emily not able to take care of it. The curveball comes out. Not going to get anything going, but look at the aggression with which Just Breathe is playing that. The filthy shot from Emlo with the Sheriff eventually drops, but the spike has gone down on a 3v3 here. They've got the Cosmic Divide, but Milky Way using the Empress to get onto the site. They're all going to be funneling in from double doors, but the thing is, Dig is all playing in caves. They're all playing their post plants. Emily may have a lineup, depending on how she plays this, but Rain just gets cleaned up. Milky Way gets another. And Emily drops as well. This time it was Just Breathe who had no business winning that round, and they rob it from Dig.
Yeah, and you know, that's twice now that we've seen Just Breathe somehow making this A retake work out. And man, it's Natty saving onto that poison cloud, the Q, and using it right at the last moment. And you saw that Just Breathe, they were not willing to lose this round. The fact that Milky Way uses her ult and just gets in there, gets involved, and finds the 2, drags her team across the finish line into this round. I mean, that was everything.
You see Just Breathe from a kills perspective, it's been a pretty complete performance, right? Like, nobody's popping off. It's not flashy, but it's been enough to have them at just a 1-round deficit on this map against Dig. You've got Dig with 4 ultimates online. Stephanie's just a couple away from having hers as well, but you've heard Emluo just use the Blade Storm. Also has an op. not going to connect. Here, the run it back has been used along with the Hunter's Fury as well. So I'm going to maybe go a bit aggressive here. No, she gets cleaned up. And the Hunter's Fury was there. They've gotten onto the site again, Potter.
Yeah, unfortunate. Emluo, I think she felt like she needed to take that fight, but right now Thea finds another, and it's just down to Kara. She's got to go for it, but that's the entire site down.
Yep. Kara in a 1v4.
Woo!
What?
Okay.
Well, do it, sis. Hey.
Res?
Kara good for a second one as well. As you said, has the res online. But this might be what does her in. Okay, she's able to get the res off just fine. They should have an idea of where they're coming from. Kara going in aggressively, understanding she doesn't have a ton of time. Thea good for it. It's now on Slays. And there was magic, there was razzle, and there was dazzle. But Dig managed to win the round anyway. And the half, 7-5.
Oh, man. Oh, man. But, you know, it is so cool. The fact that it looks like such an impossible round, but with just the one ability, you have the chance to actually fight your way back into the rounds. And JB, I'm glad that they were in it though, Doug. I mean, it seems like this second map is a completely different game because the first one was all Dig, and this is Just Breathe. They're starting to swing back here.
They are indeed. And now, Potter, tell me this. And you, because, you know, we can have conversations about it in solo queue. How does the map feel? But the thing is, these are some of the first times we're seeing this map competitively. Are you concerned for Dig, knowing that JB kept it as close as it did on the defensive half?
I don't think so. I think this map can be pretty... It's so tough, right? I mean, look, if Dignitas are going to do things like this, which they're controlling middle, and they're taking advantage of the fact that the map is so big, and they're just taking the fight to Just Breathe, that's when it becomes nearly impossible to hold. Without a Cypher, without a Killjoy, without holding the flanks and the backlines, it becomes so tough.
They've gotten onto the site. They've gotten the spike down. You see Thea is trying to work the flank, but Kara's wise to it. Understanding the wall was there. Kara drops. Thea is able to win that duel anyway. Sholiana gets onto the site. Thea gets dropped as well. Natty's alone. Natty made some magic happen. It was close, but she eventually does drop. That's going to give Dig the second pistol of the map.
Yeah, I just like the aggression coming out from Dig. They were not gonna sit around and wait for Just Breathe to do some fancy set piece. No, they're not gonna let them execute. They're gonna disrupt. They're gonna apply the pressure towards the mid and not allow any sort of those kinds of shenanigans. So great stuff coming out from Dig. And man, I didn't even notice 400 average combat score coming out from Sholiana. She's not messing around here.
Nah, that 400, that's pretty good. I'll take that any day of the week. Now, if you're Just Breathe, no force up again. Now, you've got Kara with a Ghost and Milky Way with a Frenzy. We've talked about how devastating Arena can be on pistol rounds, but even with that in mind, full Spectre's on the side of Dignitas. They're also working towards B. They should be able to get him for free. Now, you've got Slays playing A to draw out some attention, but I love this from Just Breathe. They aren't hating B. They're working across the middle of the map, and if they get the timing right, like two ships passing in the night, Stephanie walks right back through.
Oh my!
It's all going to be on Rain. Oh, it's going to be on Rain. Rain drops. That's going to give them free access onto the site. Now, the one thing is, Slays is on an island here and gets cleaned up, but yes, JB get onto B.
Oh boy, Rain scratching her head, wondering what the heck just happened. Where did my teammate go? But we still can take a breather. I think Dignitas, they've got the more advantageous weaponry. Emily, she's going to start things off on this retake. And okay, beautiful shots, Kara. That should slow everything down.
And if that doesn't slow down, the Snakebite certainly will as it delays entry onto the site. Sholiana good for one on Milky Way, though, as she swings around, not able to land the second. Natty's classic as the spike continues to tick away. If you're Dig, you're going to have to bust a move here. You have to take the fight to them. The smoke drops. They might try to stick the defuse. No, she got it to half, but I don't know that they're going to be able to get anything else out of it. No, they're not. A Virus thrifty round win for Just Breathe.
Oh my, oh my. Okay, that at least equalizes things. I think it's fair to say that both of these squads have stolen some of these rounds within this map so far. But man, that one's gotta hurt. I think Rain she's got to be scratching her head. She has been involved in all the duels so far, just being on the island towards B, and the fact that her teammate allowed her to get flanked in that manner, it's a little bit tilting. I gotta say, I'm tilted for Rain at the moment.
Well, and it's so hard if you win the pistol but then lose the following round. The economy really just kind of flips on its head. Right now you've got Dig, who are on nothing but pistols, and for Just Breathe, it's 4 rifles across the board. Like, that's certainly a flip from where we were, and you're seeing some of that gun difference already as Slays gets the best of Sholiana, excuse me. The spike goes down, but they should have some easier time here.
Creating a lot of flashbangs right now. Uh-oh. Natty, she's got to hold the back line. Thea's doing a great job, though. So patient. The timing here, this is going to be everything.
That's big. Emily's already dropped. You mentioned the timing. You mentioned the timing, Potter. It's there. Thea's good for one with the classic. Emlo manages to try to tag something up, but no, Thea and Rain in a 1v2. Kara, not. No,
wow.
Way. How, Potter? How?
I couldn't tell you. That. I mean, just Thea, the fact that she stopped for just 1 second, and you know she's trying to listen to her teammates' communication. She's trying to visualize in her head the map, exactly where these defenders in this pulse plant are going to be. And that slight pause, 2-second pause, was everything. And, man.
You could even see, like, Thea holding there. She moved in once the rest of Dig pushed in from double doors, right? Like, and it was coordinated perfectly to draw attention away, give Thea a bit of room to breathe, if you will. Just an excellent round for Just Breathe here. Now they're the ones on this weird buy, as Economy has just gone back and forth every single round.
Oh, the spam play coming out from Sholiana. I've actually never seen this before.
Oh.
But of course, she's going to bring these Odin shenanigans from Ascent over to Breeze as well. And that's just so strong, man. But Kara, you know, we haven't seen Just Breathe doing a lot of lurking through this Among Us halls. And Kara, she's got a lot of real estate right now.
She does indeed. Stephanie feeling some
Oh no,
pressure.
it's going to be on Rain again. The flank.
Oh boy. Emlo, good for one. It's like playing Ring Around the Rosie. Oof. No way. Yeah, look at Rain. 5 HP. She's certainly backing up. Like, I don't want any of that. Stephanie's not online, so they can't bring any heal into the matter as Natty gets the spike down.
Yeah, it's just been all about the flank, as we know Breeze should be. And Thea, she's on a flank as well for herself.
Through the spam! The Viper's Pit was there.
Way.
You heard it go off, and freaking Sholiana again does it. Moser down. Emily's going in aggressive. She manages to get one. Looking for Milky Way to get some trade back.
Oh.
May have landed a shot, but no. Thea, the jumping classic Old Faithful, cleans things up as Dig get to 10. An excellent response from Dignitas. Again, the Viper's Pit was coming up. Natty was in a great spot. They had their post plants, and as soon as that ult came online, a little burr came out, and that cleaned things up from Sholiana.
A little burr, a lot of burr coming out. And yeah, you're absolutely right. Man, what a swing of events. Because, you know, there was a moment a few rounds ago that JB absolutely looked like they were about to make this one competitive. And, you know, we'll put it to the side for now because that was a scrappy buy. This time around, we've got some actual rifles on the board. And Kara, she had fantastic timing in the last round. And that was a lot of information. We'll see what Just Breathe are able to do with that this time around.
I mean, look at the pace at which they're playing this round. They haven't stopped for anything. It was just Natty who stopped to put the wall up, but they're all the way into the site. Rain says, that is not where you're welcome right now. Milky Way trades it back out as Slays gets the spike down.
Spike planted.
They never let go of W, Doug. They never let go. And Natty, she's holding the flank. They should be aware, and she is. She totally is.
The paranoia. Now Natty knows she might not be able to swing in time. Thea manages to land it. Here comes the ult out of Emily as well. It gets cleaned up instantly as Milky Way brings the Empress online. Thea's still looking to go in aggressively. They still got the ult. Sholiana is also 1 point away from having that Hunter's Fury online. There it comes. It comes up online, and it's not going to be needed this time as it'll carry into the next round. Dig take another one away with 3 members remaining.
Oh man, Just Breathe. They've been having to deal with getting spammed for many a rounds, and once again, Sholiana showing exactly why the Odin is just such a nuisance to deal with there. I respect it though. Just Breathe. They were like, you know what? Not a lot is working right now. We're just gonna W in there. Let's get in there. Let's get involved. And it almost paid off. It almost worked out for them.
Yeah, I mean, it looked good, right? They changed the pace. They dialed up something different. It didn't pan out. Now for Just Breathe, a heavy stack towards A. They've got presence all over the place, and they've got the Blade Storm in the hands of Emluo. So yeah, she's going to have a Frenzy in her back pocket, but that should be enough. And look at, again, the aggression across the middle of the map. Stephanie's going to use the Seekers, clear out everything, and because of that, she knows exactly where the hit is. It's going to be a bloodbath onto A. You see the Paranoia teed up. There it is. It comes out. The flash was there as well as Emily looking to go in aggressive. Thea gets one as well. The spike has already been dropped. They haven't been able to get onto the site. Potter, there's just no easy entrance. There's no place that's safe. They still haven't really been able to get past doors.
Oh my god, but Doug, Dignitas, their coordination right now, it's so hard to deal with. The paranoia, the birds coming through, the timing of Emily pushing right then and there. Dignitas right now, you can tell that their communication, they are on cloud 9 right now. These ladies are absolutely vibing. And you can see that their synergy's paying off. Natty, she's in such a tough spot. 1 versus 3, only 53 HP to her name. The spike is way out in front of her. She's going to have to hit some insane shots here. And Rain, she just cleans it up.
Cleans it up indeed. I loved what we saw out of Dig there. It was very reminiscent to what we saw out of Just Breathe in the previous round, right? Where they decided to dial it up. They went very aggressive. They just full sent, but this time it was actually Dig. As we mentioned, with Stephanie Seekers, by process of elimination, understanding where the hit was going to go, and they were able to fully invest towards A, and like we said, they weren't able to take a step out onto the site, right? Like, there was no room out of caves to make something happen. Now Just Breathe looking to dial up something towards B this time around, but you've got the Hunter's Fury, you've got the Cosmic Divide, you've also got Thea with the From the Shadows, so she can play A by herself and know that she can join the site if needed. Emluo going aggressive with the dash, but no, the corners aren't clear, the 50s weren't there. Rain was able to clean that up as well. There comes the ult from Thea. She gets back into the site, leaving them pinched, stuck. Natty and Kara alone. Natty gets cleaned up. It's actually just Kara that's left to try to keep tournament life alive. Kara good for one, but no, it's the Hunter's Fury out of Sholiana that cleans things up to give Dignitas the win. It was closer, but at the end of the day, Potter and Lucy, I'd love to bring you into this conversation as well, because that was just a gross performance out of Dig.
Easy. I mean, that's the best way to put it. It was easy for Dig. You saw it right there. Even Emily just dancing around the pillar there so neatly, so cleanly, even under all the chaos, even with all the utility coming her way. She knew exactly how to stop the push coming from Just Breathe. And Dignitas, they're looking sharp right now, Doug. They're looking scary.
Yeah, they were on fire. My goodness, 2 maps in a row in such a dominant fashion. And that's, of course, what we want to see here in the main bracket. There's $50,000 on the line. Well, the prize pool, that is $20,000 to first place. 4-day event, so they got to play all the way through to the end to get there. Guys, wow, spicy. We just got you, and now it's like the end. I can't believe it. Not fair. But Sholiana showing up.
Woo. Yeah, I mean, she showed up, and you know, again, she's Legolasing out there. She's styling right now with the shock darts, with the recons, with the jiggling maneuvers. I mean, 400 ACS in the first half alone. She's flying on cloud 9 right now, for sure.
Utter bananas. Anything here, any more really that you can say, Doug? I mean, you guys have already been. I mean, I heard so many adjectives. I took notes, I think, like, of all the things that Doug spits out. I'm like, that's a good one. And Potter, too. You know, you guys are bringing the vocabulary for sure. But here's some stats here. I mean, Doug, gosh, my goodness.
Yeah, I think the one thing that I want to take away from this is Just Breathe made some notable adaptations from Ascent onto Breeze that I think made this far more competitive. I think there were also a couple of things that, like, on Ascent, it just seemed like Dig could do no wrong. Everything was falling their way, and for Just Breathe, some of those moments, right, like those pivotal moments in rounds started to go their way, but even with those adaptations, it was just too little too late. I think for Dignitas, a couple of things that impressed me they were able to show variety in how they played the paces of the rounds, right? We saw them play defaulty. We saw them dial up heavy aggression both on attack and on defense. We saw them use their utility in excellent synergy, right? We talked, I don't think it was the last round, it was the round previous to that, where they dropped the flashes. They invested everything at the same time with all of the other utility to make it almost impossible for Just Breathe to breathe. I hate that I just said that, but there was really nowhere for them to go. I think Dig looked really scary right now.
That they did. And with that, you guys know after the end of the matchups, we've got our Nyx Professional Makeup Match MVP. Drum roll, please. Of course, it's Sholiana. We definitely saw that coming.
Yeah, oh, we definitely saw it coming. 3.2 KDA. Again, that combat score and her ADR. She was always involved. The triple doubles coming out on the scoreboard as well. The Odin plays, just the impact that she provided across both of the maps for the Dig ladies. It was amazing.
Ooh, I was getting a little game action somewhere. Fantastic. I love this graphic. It's so great. Also, my face isn't in anymore. That's awesome. We're back here just seeing some more stats. And then we're back to us. Guys, this is the end of day number 1. What a fantastic one it was. It kicked off spicy. I'm going to say it over and over again. It's fine. So everyone's going to have it grilled into their brains by the end of this event because it is that very much so. And I didn't expect to see Dignitas in such a dominant fashion. Hey, now we got a Potter face. You got it this time. But anyhow, we're having fun here as we're closing things out. But my goodness, I mean, I'm not sure if let's bring up the bracket. I was going to, yes, do that. Let's see how the games have gone. I believe our second stream is still in action. What do we have up on deck? So you see Cloud9 White will be facing TSM tomorrow. Dig has advanced on, and that's GX3 in the lowers. Up 1 map over, nothing to lose. Interesting. I wonder what the map pools were there going on, but nothing to lose. I mean, they aren't having a good day so far from what we've seen. I guess having to start out against C9 White isn't kind of where you want to be on the bracket starting out, of course. But anyhow, what do you guys think? Is this about what you thought this could shake out today?
Yeah, I think so. I think for Cloud9, while there was some talk about, they finally dropped a map against Shopify Rebellion in the qualifiers, like, are they human? Do they bleed? No, I think for Cloud9, it's a whole lot of the same. I think CLG Red really impressed me. They came out to play, right? And it wasn't just like a decent win over Just Breathe. They kind of did them dirty, so that was really impressive to me. And then I think for GX3 and Nothing to Lose, once this show's over, go check that match out because it's going to be a good one. Again, tournament life on the line. I think for GX3, they may be giving Nothing to Lose all they can handle.
Absolutely. Didn't know if you wanted to have any say in there as well, Potter. But as we are waiting for our post-match interview, everyone sit tight because you definitely want to be hearing. We've got